It's time for Norton and Friends.
I like it.
In the morning, Norton and Friends. In the morning, let's play Monster Rain. Opie is a shit day.
I think it's that I look at my whole life and I see the awful, terrible things in my life and turn it into something funny.
Did you get my tweet this morning?
Which one?
I just told you I was on my way in to do a little radioing. I like this. I think from now on we should start sending each other friendly good morning greetings.
I'm going to see you. What do you needed to send?
I think it lets people know that we're buzzing to see each other.
You could just... Oh, I see it now. Welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Doesn't that get ready to broadcast? Look at that.
No, I didn't see it, unfortunately. It said morning at Not Sam. Looking forward to a fun morning. Of
radioing.
If radioing.
Of radioing. I'm a little anxious.
If we're radioing. We're not, obviously.
No, my finger hit the wrong button. I was in a taxi.
Because you're too busy making sure that your smiling selfie is just right.
I can't help it. I just look at that. Tell me that face isn't pinchable. And Tell me it's not pinchable. I challenge you.
You know what the most annoying part of that photo is? You're all bundled up, even though you're getting in a cab.
I was already in a cab.
Yeah, so what are you all bundled up for?
What all of a
You're going
sudden?
to be outside for 30 seconds.
I was outside it was 40-something degrees this morning, and I hopped in the cab, and I don't have a lot of hair like you.
Oh, I see.
You have an ape hat. So I don't have that.
So you have to have your hoodie up and,
I do.
And your parka on?
Yes, I do. No, it's not a parka. It's like a fall jacket.
That smile is awful.
Well, it's not awful. Look at that. That's a greet you in the morning smile.
You know what the only thing that's great about that smile is? You do it so often that it's going to give you terrible wrinkles far earlier than it would have.
I'm very unwrinkled, considering I'm a man of almost 50 years. I have very few wrinkles, so the occasional smile.
What's the secret? Moisturizing?
A lot. Well, some would call it that.
Stem cell research.
Yeah.
Well, welcome
I don't smile. I only smile briefly, and then I stop.
You can follow along on Twitter. I'm assuming we'll retweet that amazing image.
Oh, it's great.
At Jim and Sam Show, Jim and Sam Show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all over the place. I want to know.
Sure.
Not from you, just in a general question.
I thought you wanted some information. I was happy my co-host wanted some info as soon as I sat down.
I'm not. This isn't where I go to the elder statesman looking for advice every morning.
Okay, well, I think it's a good segment to start with. Ask Jim.
Oh, no. I want to know what is Ken Bone going to do with his life when he realizes that he's gone on every media outlet possible to announce that he split the pants on his olive suit.
I did hear that.
You did?
Yeah.
Everybody knows he split the pants on his olive suit. I heard it on CNN. I heard it on Fox News. I heard it on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Everywhere.
That's great.
He split the pants on his olive suit.
Isn't it weird, like, what makes somebody popular? Like, his dumb question at the end just all of a sudden made him... Everybody likes the guy. But he has to wear his sweater. Did he wear his sweater on Kimmel?
Of course he did. And then this morning, for the third day in a row, he was on Fox and Friends, and he was wearing the red sweater.
Well, he's here. Why don't we get him in here?
That's satellite.
Huh?
He's not here.
I think I said we're on satellite. I'm like, yes, we are.
No, it's just confirming.
Oh, I thought he was in New York. I was like, let's grab Ken Bones. That'd be a fun chat. So, how was it? It was good. All right. Thanks for coming in.
So tell us, you weren't at first going to wear that red sweater, were you?
Yeah.
What made you decide that red sweater? Well, you know, it's a funny story.
Don't tell me you split your pants. Just don't say that.
Well, I had a suit.
So your obesity caused you to change your outfit.
I've gained a few pounds. I've picked up a few. He's just like we all know. There was one awkward moment when he was on Kimmel last night when Kimmel asked him for Halloween if he was going to be. Oh no! He asked him endorsements. Have you gotten any endorsements? And Kimmel snuck in that he could be the new Kool-Aid Man. It's mean, right through his face.
It's very funny.
Do you have the CNN clip, Adrian?
No. Oh.
Where he's on there, and they're asking him. This was the first place I believe that I heard. It was right after the radio interview that we said he did yesterday. It was the first TV spot that he did.
Carol Costello is pretty cute, by the way.
Asking real
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
important to them. Cue Ken Bone.
Ken Bone.
What steps will your energy...
Which, by the way, people just start to feel better about themselves when they see him. That's why he's famous. You know, they just feel better.
So he had an olive suit with that white out of under it?
I don't know. He might have changed the whole thing.
Fell in love. From his question to the disposable camera he whipped out at the end of the debate to capture his experience.
Everyone had a disposable
He
camera.
confirmed that they did.
I know.
Sensation. Welcome, Ken.
Well, thank you, Carol. Thanks very much for having me this morning.
Thanks for being. I see you're still
I
wearing
hate
your
how
red
he pauses.
sweater.
I hate how fucking comfortable he already is being a pundit.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah, no. Being in the spotlight is not something that Ken Bone finds frightening
He's
at all.
not shying away from the media spotlight at all.
He's got one leg crossed. Oh, thank you, Carol. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, he's really bothering me.
Yeah, I mean, he had his one-liner on Kimmel. He was talking about, endorsements, and he was like, I'm just hoping that somebody's still selling mustache wax.
He looks like the guy Keanu Reeves was defending in the beginning of Devil's Advocate.
the kid toucher?
Yeah. Just rubbing his finger under the fucking defense table. He's just got a mustache now.
He was a bad guy, that dude. He was not a nice man.
No.
There he is. Yeah, that's these guys. That's a Ken Bone thing. Him. All right, let's go back to Ken Bone on CNN.
I don't see how I could not have worn the red sweater this morning.
Did he almost fuck up? First of all, why is she laughing at that? What's funny about that?
She's just trying to... See, here's the thing. The reason that he's getting interviewed everywhere is because people are making fun of him. All the interviews are designed for him to be the butt of a joke. But on something like CNN, you're not supposed to do interviews where the only purpose for them is to make fun of a man.
Right.
So she's got to overly laugh at everything he says, like, no, this isn't a piece about making fun of somebody. It's just one of those good-natured, feel-good pieces.
He almost fucked up with the word red.
It's the
A red sweater. Watch, can you go back and... on that?
By the way, very limited words that he has to be able to say. Red sweater, split pants, disposable camera. If he can get all that stuff out.
Hard drive with password.
Thanks for being. I see you're still wearing your red sweater.
I don't see how I could not have worn the red sweater this morning.
Red sweater. What happens to this guy when he talks? Red sweater.
So guess what, buddy? That fake confidence is only going to take you so far because we see right through it.
All right, yeah, his ass cheeks are sweaty, his palms are probably wet.
Yeah,
nervous.
He figured out how to get all the sweat that would be on his brow to the invisible area between his cheeks.
Yeah, it's a disaster down there.
It really is. All day yesterday, media appearance after media appearance.
Yeah,
he didn't have time to wipe his swamp ass.
No, he didn't.
It's more famous than me. I just had to bring myself along.
It's more famous than me. The ego on this guy.
He already knows he's a sensation.
Yeah. The only thing more famous than me is my red sweater.
I had to bring it along. I hate their good-natured chortly. Here's the best part.
Yeah.
This will wear off, and then he'll try to get on something, and they'll be, we just don't have time for that segment. The first one he tries to do, and they say no.
Well, he, I guess, at midnight mentioned him last night, and he tweeted to Chris, thanks, I come on anytime.
Oh!
And I'm just thinking, like, no.
It's over, bro.
You're never going to be on.
As what?
If you weren't on tonight, you're not going to be on.
Oh, yeah. Remember last year, the fat guy who asked a question?
Right.
I
What, are they
didn't
going
think you
to
did.
bump a comedian? Put Ken Bone on?
Exactly.
Well, At Midnight is all about cultural references from the past. It's not a very immediate show is the thing. You don't need to hit it when it's hot. And a thing like Ken Bone, the depression, by the way, that Ken Bone is going to go through. Because the reason that he's confident on TV is because he's really enjoying all this.
Sure.
He loves all the interviews. He loves everything. And he's pretty sure, he's like, okay, this is the run of interviews that's done via satellite. So he's doing Kimmel, he's doing all these shows via satellite. He goes, then somewhere in the back of his head, he's thinking, I'll probably fly out to do a couple after that. In his mind, he knows that this is a limited time thing. This isn't a career. But he's thinking, maybe he's going to be October's big thing.
But he's also wondering if should I ask for first class? I think should I ask for a suite? And his friends are like, go ahead. You're the hottest guy in the country right now.
They'll send a car from the airport, right? Oh, a giant black car. Yeah. It's a limo.
An SUV is fine.
SUV
He's trying to be reasonable. SUV.
SUV will be good. Not realizing he's not October's hot ticket. He's yesterday's hot ticket. It's over now.
And he's going to be, he probably going to get recognized in some restaurants and, this guy.
Yeah.
He'll do stuff on election day. People will have him on to see who he voted for.
That's right. You're right. Or he'll be like a celebrity. Hey, come meet Ken Bone.
Right, right.
Local polling place.
Yeah.
His schedule will be mighty clear, though. Because he'll be that guy, from before. He's like Joe the Plumber, except Joe the Plumber got a little bit of leg room. He got a little bit of room to grow because he ended up having a political opinion.
And he also was a constant reference to a series. Like, he represented something.
Yes.
Like, hey, you're a Joe the Plumber. I despised this whole Joe the Plumber phenomenon.
He was awful. But he decided to use it. He wrote a book. Joe the Plumber Fighting for the American Dream.
Samuel. He had two guys helping him write. It's just him with the American flag behind him. Joe the Plumber.
He doesn't have time to write a book, He's got to get to work. He's got to do his thing. He's just a regular guy.
I hope what's his name? The fat guy already? I forgot his name already. Ken Zone?
Ken Bone.
Ken Bone. I hope he... I don't forget him already. I hope he writes a book.
You think he's going to be able to self-publish?
Yeah.
My Life in the Bone Zone.
Yeah. 30 seconds and half of it butchered.
Yeah. Because he said right.
No, on the thing he said, let me fuck this question up. He said the word wrong.
Oh.
What did he say wrong?
In the debate?
Yeah, what did he say?
He said all right, let me get you. Go ahead.
Reminding instead of remaining.
Reminding.
What else did he say in this interview? I want to check this guy out.
You do, right?
Oh, my God, he's fascinating.
It's more famous than me. I just had to bring myself along.
Can you believe you've become an internet sensation?
I went from last night having 7 Twitter followers, 2 of which were my grandmother because she had to
a troll account
when she forgot
hey, you
her
fat
password.
cunt! What are you doing for Thanksgiving? His grandmother had a troll account.
By the way, if there's any doubt as to what a creep this dude was, go to his Twitter account, Adrian. You remember his Twitter name? Mm-hmm. He had 1 tweet before any of this happened. 1 tweet. Wait till you see what it was. Go down all the way to the bottom. Did he delete it?
He must have.
He had his 1 tweet, which was to Ariana Grande.
Oh, yeah.
Ew.
You know who Ariana Grande is? The pop star?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes?
Of course I know who she is.
Let's go to the Teft box on this. Travis Teft. Yeah. Do you think I should have taken for granted that Jim knew who Ariana Grande was?
That's tough because Jim does like shitty pop music,
right?
So
and Jim also talked about her when she got in trouble in the hidden. She didn't realize that somebody was recording when she was at that donut shop bashing her fans. And I've also done the Tonight Show with her.
All right.
Oh, snuck that in.
I'm just saying. And we took a picture, and she made the guy she was singing with stand between us. I didn't blame her.
He tweeted to Ariana Grande something to the effect of like, "Don't let the haters keep." At Ariana Grande. So Ariana Grande in October of 2013. She tweets out, "Girls, respect yourselves. Keep your head held high and speak only kind words. Know your truth. No one can ever take that away from you." And Ken Bone decides to start a Twitter account. He sees that
horrible,
tweet.
His tweet. It's not good.
Which, by the way, as of today, now has 2,300 retweets and 3,800 likes. And he writes,
"It's a bad tweet.
Ariana Grande, you're a great positive role model for young girls and a big-time talent. Never let some image maker or muckraker take that." What does that mean?
Means he doesn't want somebody in there mucking up the works.
The Ariana Grande works?
That's right. Don't let them muck up your image.
You know what Ariana Grande replied to that tweet with?
Grab your chest and fuck off.
Nada. Not one word.
She didn't comment, huh?
She did not comment. And that Twitter account lied dormant for 3 years.
Wow.
Until all this happened, and now he's just retweeting all the Ken Bone love.
Oh my God, his Twitter account's like Cloverfield. Like it just was nothing. It fell quietly into the water.
Right, and then some chemicals were unleashed, and Ken Bone is put out on the world.
Oh, now all of a sudden he's got a lot of things to say.
Well, he's the only thing more famous than Ken Bone right now is that sweater of his.
His sweater is fucking upsetting me.
Oh, let's hear what he had to say.
2 of which were my grandmother because she had to remake her account when she forgot her password. to now I have several hundred. I don't know why they care what I have to say, but I'm glad they're engaged in the political process.
What?
Well, I think
Hold
they
on, he
thought you were
said
quite
several
charming.
hundred.
At that moment, I guess.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
He's got several thousand now. That was
Like
yesterday
82,000.
morning. That was yesterday morning.
Guys, the fact that she said internet sensation, literally, when she said you're an internet sensation,
Yeah.
her executive producer should have walked on camera and unclipped her mic and then just walked back off camera.
You know what I hate? That he's sitting there acting like the people who are obsessed with Ken Bone are involved in the political process.
Yeah.
Like he's some vehicle of education.
Yeah, you're not, Ken.
Nobody even knows. Most of the people who are Ken Bone supporters do not remember anything he said in the debate.
I do have to admit this.
Tell me.
He's very chubby cheeks, and they are pinchable.
You think so?
He has very pinchable cheeks.
Wow.
He looks like a little pizza maker.
So would you? He looks like a stereotypical. He looks like a pizza maker on a commercial.
Yeah.
For like Pizza Hut.
Like that type of music you play.
Come to Ken Bone's a pizza.
I want to pinch his little fat face. Aw, like a little harder than he'd care for.
You know what he looks like? He looks like he's about to yell time to make the donuts.
Yes.
He looks like the Dunkin' Donuts guy.
This is the prison guard in Midnight Express. Should be fucking beating someone on their feet. Oh, let's see what else he says. By the way, that time to make the donuts guy was also in, what was that fucking, oh my God, the Marathon Man.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he's in this. He's in the fucking shop when the guy recognizes Laurence Olivier. I know you, you murderer. When he recognizes him, he's like the little fat assistant.
He's passed away now.
Oh, God bless him.
That's right.
Oh.
In fact, you told my booker Nija why you chose to wear that red sweater. Can you share with us?
But she's talking to him like he's retarded.
Yeah, I had a really nice.
She's talking to him like a little kid.
I love a great
Can
deal.
you share with us? Can you tell? Like she knows he's about to tell a humiliating story.
Wouldn't it be funny if it's the story he told, the real story? If he was like, "Yes, I had the flu and I shat my pants." She was like, "All right, thanks, Ken."
You see, before the debate, I realized I had fallen ill, and I still wanted to make the debate, but I made in my pants.
Yes. It's a funny story.
Yeah. Ken, did you just say you made? Yes, duties.
Yes.
Oh, Ken.
And there was blood in my stool. All right. Back after this.
He just he has no gauge on where the conversation's going, what's appropriate. Ken, yes, there was blood in my stool. I have yet to get it checked out because, well, everybody's wanted to do these great interviews.
Yeah, although there is a high risk of cancer in my family. All right, Ken. God bless.
They kept us sequestered for 14 hours before the debate, so I wasn't able to find out what the blood in my stool meant.
Did they really keep them sequestered?
For 14 hours. That's why they had the disposable cameras.
They couldn't have their phones?
No, they kept them away from all electronics for 14 hours.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I mean,
it seems excessive just to ask a question.
And it's not like any of them were like, ask whatever question you want. They were given questions to ask.
Yeah.
That's why these town hall debates are all so stupid. Like they're reading their question off an index card.
Or they probably wrote the question out and they had
one
to get
okay?
it approved. They had to probably get their question approved. I wonder if the candidates saw the questions first.
They said that they did not. Anderson Cooper said.
Probably not. Okay.
I promise that they didn't. Ken said on the radio they were allowed to come up with their own question, but, you know.
Why were they sequestered 14 hours? Like, what would happen?
Well, because, I'll tell you why. Because it was very important that these were all undecided voters. And if they had become decided voters within the 14 hours before the debate, well, the whole process, you could throw it out the window.
Oh.
That'd be a mockery would be made of the whole thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so let's find out the classic story from Ken Bone. He told the guest booker that he wasn't planning on wearing the red sweater.
He told Nija.
Yeah. Why wasn't he planning on wearing that red sweater?
Sweater, can you share with us?
Little guy.
Yeah, I had a really nice olive suit that I love a great deal, and my mother would have been very proud to see me wearing on television. But apparently I've gained about 30 pounds, and when I went to get in my car the morning of the debate, I split the seat of my pants all the way open. So the red sweater is plan B. Now, I'm glad it worked out.
You know, it's funny. I can think of a time I'd love to see him wearing that suit. Head on a satin pillow.
Yeah, you split the back of him, right? All right, put him in the olive suit. He'll be laying down on the split.
Oh, God,
this was supposed to be a town hall debate where, you know, an intimate setting where voters were to get to know the candidates better. Do you feel it went down that way?
Well, in the first part especially, there was a lot of bickering, a lot of name calling. But we
Wouldn't it
did
be
get to
funny
8
if he really, if he got into it? And he's like, and as you all know, the Jews control international banking, and until they release that grip, the rest of the world is never going to flourish.
Well, I have to tell you that, we all came prepared with more than one question, and I thought it was going to be up to us, but the Jew and the homo that were running the debate wouldn't throw it to us. They didn't let us
That should be the name of our show.
People can just decide who's who.
Yeah, and the Jew and the homo and Jim. Okay, sorry. Deft.
questions from the people, which is about the same as the last political cycle. So I'm really proud of Martha Raddatz and Anderson Cooper. I think they did an excellent job moving us through under difficult circumstances, and I really feel like our voice was heard. At points during the debate, it almost felt like watching Mom and Dad fight. It got very uncomfortable from up close.
Oh, cool.
Oh, boy.
But,
Ken did not have a good childhood.
Of course he did. That's why he was stress eating as a boy.
He was. He ate himself out of more suits growing up than one could count.
Yes,
every time they would get him church pants, he would just rip the little seat on him.
Yes, he would.
He would
little chubby boy.
He would sit down at that pew every Sunday morning, and you just hear, Ken, did you rip another pair of pants?
You have to wear sweats.
Yeah, he would. He'd wear a blazer and navy sweats.
Poor Ken.
Because his parents would fight like Donald and Hillary.
Do you think that he gets a girlfriend out of this? Or is he married?
He says he's married.
Oh, he's married.
He says he's married.
Oh.
He says he has a kid.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, the whole deal.
If you can dig through some of the rhetoric and some of the name-calling that went on, I think there really were some substantive answers. It's just unfortunate that we have to wade through so much to get to them.
And before you go, I just have to show you a little love from the internet, because one woman actually tweeted this: Ken Bone, the real MVP of the debate, 33% confidence, 33% calming demeanor, 33% huggability, 1% power stash.
You know what huggability means?
Yeah, you're an unfuckable, a big unfuckable thing.
Huggability means chubby.
Yeah.
33% huggability means 33% fat guy.
Yeah, Iraqability, they call it.
Yeah.
How many followers do you have now? That's pretty funny. 83,000.
Jesus Christ. That's what he says. Let's look at that last tweet up top. He writes, "Thanks for a wild day, everyone. Catch me on Fox and Friends in the morning if you're not justifiably sick of me by then."
All right, I kind of like that he knows.
I don't think he knows. I think he's trying to be, good-natured about it. I think that Ken Bone is going to hit such a low when people stop talking about him, like by this afternoon. Tonight is going to be probably the worst night of his life, worse than when Mom and Dad would fight.
I don't know. Ken Bone seems to be well adjusted.
Oh, this is great. Somebody referred to him as, I don't know if you ever watched Parks and Rec, but somebody referred to him as Jerry from Parks and Rec, who would just get mocked relentlessly in the office. It's perfect.
Oh, good luck to you.
You don't think he's going to go through a low?
I don't know. He seems to be an adjusted boy.
I don't think so. I don't think not one bit.
Teff Chipperson wrote something.
Your face has been expanded upon.
Did you see the Photoshop of us yesterday? Oh, of me. It was a good shot where they made me fat at the bottom.
Yeah, I think Roberts did that.
That was you were photoshopping that? No.
Yeah, my jaw was severely extended. Oh. Everything below the nose was elongated by a huge margin. Obviously I was photoshopped.
They make your eyes darker?
No, it's everything below my nose is huge.
Body's the same.
No, the body's the same. I'm talking about the face. Look at the distance between my lip and my nose.
I really had to double take that photo. I'm like, oh my God. I look frumpy.
You thought you'd gotten a bit of a gut?
Dude, I was like, what the fuck? Because it makes me look really just like a top, like really dumpy just in the middle.
Yeah, it does. I love it. Like everything's just going to your gut. You're really not supposed to be fat, but you keep enjoying the sweets. And it goes right to your gut every time. Love handles, too.
That made me laugh.
Let's go to Cigars and Scotch. Welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Hey, good morning. I think Ken Bone is actually going to be happy once they start talking about him, because at some point they're going to ask him who he's voting for, and he's going to pick a candidate. and that's when the backlash will start.
That's right.
Oh, they'll kill him.
You fucking moron! How could you support that candidate? And look at the hate memes next.
Yeah, he'll become the because he's not going to become the face of the candidate he chooses. He's going to become the enemy face of the candidate he doesn't choose.
Yep.
He was on Kimmel last night, and he was like, I'm more undecided than I was when this whole thing started, which is probably bullshit. He's just figured out what cigars and scotch knows, which is he better not say anything remotely polarizing, because then the weight of the world comes down on him.
I don't know what they're calling him, a debate sensation.
He's a bit of a sensation.
He's a big fat guy in a red sweater. How do you not notice that?
Well, people have really taken to him.
What'd they do for 14 hours? Were they in a hotel, or where the fuck were they?
Chilling. They had to just kind of chill. You know what I mean?
Where?
I don't know what room. I would imagine they were in a hotel. Unless they were, I don't know, in a room in the fucking
fuck are
arena.
they sequestered? That's bizarre.
Did they be sequestered for 14 hours? They take their shit seriously at these debates. If they're going to do a town hall, they have to take their town hall questionnaires very seriously. Integrity is at the utmost.
Yeah, but they already had the questions.
Yeah, you'd think they'd just get some fucking schlubs to read the questions. Like, why do you have to make it a whole thing? Like, just say, okay, come with your questions.
How about you get there at 7? It starts at 8:30.
That's it. They have the seats reserved for them. You get there right before, you get 8:15, just as long as you're there before it starts. They get there 8 in the morning. They arrive at 8 a.m. Yes.
For a 10 p.m. start.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, just get there before it starts. Read the question that's on the card.
Was there anyone that didn't get a chance to read the question?
I don't know. I think that they got to.
Don't they all have questions?
What do you mean?
Like everyone that's sitting there. Don't they all have questions?
I don't know. They just get no, because they only got to people in that one section or one of the two sections.
Yeah, those are the only
two sections that would have questions.
Yeah.
Weren't there more sections than 2?
No, that was all cameras.
I thought there were more sections than 2.
Would there be the sections off camera?
Behind them.
Yeah, but they're not going to go to the people off camera for questions.
No, meaning people behind the candidate. You could see them in every shot. People behind Trump.
Yeah, there was one section next to Trump and one section next to Hillary.
Yeah.
So all of them had questions?
That's what I assumed. I assumed it was a town hall, so everybody has a question, and it's like...
You know what happens when you assume...
What happens, Chip? What happens?
He has no
clue. Make a fucking asshole out of yourself.
Not the way it goes.
Nope. Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, they might have... But that thing is so scheduled that you would think that you would know exactly the order they were going in. It's not like any of these people with questions.
But that's just like, The Price is Right. You know who's going to be on.
Plus the candidates also.
They still fill up the audience.
Right, so they're all possible candidates.
Yeah.
Wait, they know who's going to be on before that?
On The Price is Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of tell you.
You didn't know that?
No. I did not know that.
It's not
you thought it was a big surprise when Roddy announces your name?
Yes, it is a surprise.
Yeah, but they find the people that have the most excitement and the most energy.
And say, like, I got good news for you.
Yeah, because they want to play to the television.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
You think so? You think it might just be like a random drawing?
It is. I always thought it was.
It isn't. It's actually, you know what it is? It's a produced television show.
No, but you're wrong about that.
You think so?
I've seen the excitement on those faces.
Yeah.
Those people couldn't fake that.
You don't think so?
Nope.
You don't think they just might get the most excited people, as Travis teftily pointed out?
No, Travis is he's just a curmudgeon.
He is.
Just a dream crusher.
Yes, you really are. Yeah, fucking, I hate fact tefting.
He does.
So,
he fact tefts every day.
So I wonder, no, because the candidates talk longer sometimes too. They keep going. They're organized, but they don't know how long, like, Trump may talk or she may talk.
So they just have everybody with a potential question. They have their list, and then, boom, who they get to, they get to.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the order's random.
I don't know. We'll get Ken Bone to call in. We'll ask him all about it.
Yeah. Kenny B., how many of those people had questions that didn't get to it? And was there any muckrakers?
Let's go to Garrett in New York. Garrett. You there?
Hey, morning, guys.
What's up, buddy?
Garrett?
Hello?
Hello, Edna Garrett.
Hey, first time, long time. Been with you since the start.
Love it.
Hey, just wondering if you guys noticed that he looks like he was in a disguise with, like, that fake nose and the mustache and the glasses.
He does. He looks like, there are 3 things he looks like. He looks like he could be in a disguise. He looks like a sketch artist's rendering. And the one that I've heard a lot is he looks like a card from Guess Who.
I don't know what Guess Who is.
It's a child's game.
Oh, I'm glad Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Guess who? Yay. Look at the little worm coming out of the apple.
And what you have to do is
going in the apple.
You have to guess physical features. Does your person have this? Does your person have that? And if you say no, you put the card down.
Does your puppy have a little treat to kiss?
Puppy?
Close your eyes. Hey.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
What's it called?
Guess who?
Guess who? Uncle.
You're not a character in the game. It's supposed to be one of the
Guess
cards.
who? Kiss your nipples.
They're so small.
Show you how to give a dog milk.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to go there.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I also work for the FBI, and there's a guy named
Female
Ben
body
Jones, like an
inspector?
actor.
That's so cool that you said that. That's so fucking funny. Because the T-shirts are always just such a riot. It's awesome.
Well, I've been after this guy named Ben Cohn. He's been writing fake checks and wearing a disguise, and the case is actually called Catch Me If You Can. But, he keeps getting away because he keeps giving me really hard blowjobs in the corner of the airport.
Garrett.
Yeah?
When do you think that you should have just tapped out?
At what point? Yeah, we have our opinion.
You guys don't believe me?
Maybe everything like before the FBI thing was fine. And then it was like, whoops.
You hear what I said about female body inspector?
Yeah.
That was funny.
No, I remember.
Travis?
Yeah, no, it's clear in my mind.
Yeah. It's from a T-shirt.
Cool. No, it's not.
All right, Garrett, I'll talk to you later.
I just improv that.
No, you didn't improv.
I did.
It's a very, very...
And for B and I.
Let me go to... Ooh, this is not good. Denise in Canada.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, Denise.
Teft, sorry, but you're wrong.
Oh, I really tefted that one up.
Oh,
that's not possible.
Yes, you did. What they do is they do interview everybody before they go in, but they don't tell you who they've chosen. So you're still surprised when you get called on The Price is Right.
Yes, thank you.
But you have an inkling that you might be.
You don't.
Yes, you do.
It's a mystery.
No, you don't, because
Thank
I
you,
thought
miss.
I was going to, and they didn't.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. I could teft Travis out of this one.
No, you can't.
Because maybe
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know if Sam's going to be on my side or not.
I just know what the word means.
No, he completely messed up this word.
So, Miss, you're saying that it's not pre-decided.
No, it is not pre-decided. Well, no, wait.
Guarantee they know who they're
pre-decided, but they know who they're picking, but you don't know that you're one. Like, Pat said that the people who are called already knew they were going to be called.
He did say that. He's a piece of garbage.
But what about this?
They know they've got a chance.
Trash. Travis is trash.
What if the people who knew that they were going to get called, who got called, knew that they were going to get called, and the reason you didn't know whether or not you were going to get called or not is because it was never in the cards for you?
Well, I guess that's possible.
Right.
That is possible.
You see? You can always teft your way out of a tough situation.
That's true.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Denise.
All right, Denise. Guy, thanks for the call. You give us a jingle anytime. We'd love to talk to you.
I've already hung up on her.
Good.
Jim in Wisconsin.
Right here.
No, you're not.
Yes. Regarding the Ken Bone segment, I made the observation that if you replace the letter N in bone with the letter R, the name would spell Ken Bore.
Oh.
When did you make that observation? It's an astute one.
Yes, about 3 minutes ago, because on my radio it says Ken Bone, and I, for a second I saw it a little differently, and I said, you know what? Ha!
Nate on Rhode Island there. Nate, what's going on?
Yeah, that sounded more like Jim from Winborskin.
That's very good. That's
pretty good. It's kind of like the whole Wisconsin. That's good.
No, that's fine.
Good stuff.
So I don't know if you guys noticed. I did not pay attention whatever to Ken Bone during the debate, but there was this guy on Hillary's side of the stage, just this giant, red-faced with like white scalp zit-looking dude. I don't know if you guys saw him. I have no idea why nobody's talking about this guy. He took up like 2 whole seats.
Was he the same guy?
Oh, I've been seeing pictures of that guy. I didn't know who.
And he was dressed very similarly to a skinny guy that was sitting in front of him, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know why Ken Bone is so interesting to people.
Okay,
anyway,
this guy also,
hold on, is that Photoshop?
I don't think so. This guy also has a Twitter account. It's called at Fat Guy at Debate.
No shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and they photoshopped him, so he's literally, I would say, 8 times the size of any of the other people in the audience.
Huge. He's absolutely. I thought he was standing the whole time, just like waiting to fucking leap out onto the stage. It was crazy. I don't know why nobody noticed him.
He really is.
But,
There's a slender man sitting in front of him in almost an identical suit.
No water for people to drink?
Yeah. That guy really did look like he was just fucking. Yeah, he looked like he was late to the debate and was running up to the stage beforehand. He was so red-faced.
I love Thank you, buddy. Debate.
Thanks for taking my calls, guys.
Thank you.
The show. It's going great.
Thank you, buddy. There's some funny people out there. Some really funny people out there.
Well, your idea, by the way, this is the monster you've created. Your idea of like, there's some really great comedic minds out there is just people who can make people look either bigger or smaller on Photoshop.
Well, no, the guy
like this is to you like the epicenter of comedy. If like you can make somebody be fatter or skinnier or just make parts of their body bigger on Photoshop, it's like, you've got it, buddy. You have.
I wish I could make people quieter. No, I think it's funny that somebody made a Twitter account, Fat Guy at Debate.
It really
it's
is
just a
good.
funny thing to see somebody. Like I wouldn't have thought to do that, to make a whole an account and make him giant and just humiliate him.
And
funny.
The caption of it, he goes, "Nice picture of me at the hashtag debate." He's 8 times the size of a normal
very
human
big boy.
Of a normal human being. Oh boy, this is getting controversial. Eric in Virginia.
What's up, boys?
What's going on?
Just want to let you know my sister-in-law Price is Right.
Oh boy,
the phone's cutting out.
I tell you, who's doing that?
Of course he is. He's in
Oh
there.
yeah, he's tinkering. I see Teft in there, tefting up the wires.
Yeah, he waves his phone over the wires and it fucks everything up.
He's tinkering with all the wires in there. You know, Jim.
Yeah.
One of our staffers independently decided to do something today.
I hope it involves a rope.
Well, not yet, but we'll see how this goes. We actually, this is a big get, because so far he's only done stuff via satellite. But we actually have Ken Bone in studio with us today.
We do.
Yeah. Ken Bone, again, totally independently decided to come in. I was surprised when I saw him this morning. Adrian, was I not surprised?
Yes.
Dismayed slightly and surprised. Is Ken Bone, has he been screening calls?
Yeah.
Okay, why
He's been entertaining the people who call in.
Yeah. Why don't you send Ken Bone in here? Here he comes. In studio. There he is. I can tell he's got his red sweater. He's got his white shirt. He's got a mustache. He's got his glasses. Ken Bone. Why don't you step up to the microphone there, Ken?
You know what I'm thinking the whole time that he just walked in?
What?
Well, I guess Ken Bone won't be getting my eggs.
I think Roland's on it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, good morning, Ken.
Good morning.
So you wore the red sweater, I see.
Well, this wasn't completely my idea. Yesterday, you looked at me, and you said...
No, Ken.
Oh.
The way to break the fourth wall.
Ken, you wore the red sweater, I see.
Yeah, well, I've been wearing this every day.
You know, that's like if you were in The Godfather and Tom Hagen said they shot Sonny on the causeway and Marlon Brando said, no, that's Jim Caan. He's fine. That's what you just did. That's what you just did.
Apparently, Ken Bone didn't hear the clip of Ken Bone saying, well, the red sweater's more famous than I am because, I've been wearing this every day. Okay.
So, you grew a mustache. No. I just painted it on this morning.
You're Sharpie.
Cool.
It's
Excellent.
So, Ken Bone.
Yeah.
I guess, I've heard that the red sweater was not your first choice. Is that right?
No. Originally, I was wearing an olive suit, and then I had a bit of an accident in the car. So...
You're having an accident in the car right now.
Yes, you are.
What kind of accident in the car?
Yes.
Well, I sat down a little bit too quickly, and apparently I pounded about 30 pounds or so.
Oh.
I just ripped my pants.
You did?
Right in the crack.
I see, right in the
You know what
crack.
else you should have ripped? This script in half.
Jim, you don't have any questions for our in-studio guest?
How far away is Roland? Certainly don't. What, the one who breaks the fourth wall and then changes his voice halfway through?
What was the...
Well, remember you told me to do it. We're on the air. Boo.
Well, how did you think it would go, Derek?
Well, I wasn't planning on doing an impression. I was more of doing it just to pay respect to Mr. Bone. Yesterday you said maybe wear a red pullover tomorrow, so I stopped by Old Navy last night and got myself a little
I appreciate the level of commitment. I don't know if I really intended for you to come in to work.
You're the boss.
Dressed like Ken Bone.
The level of commitment is good. The execution
Not
is an
great.
abomination.
Not great. And you do know, it's very visual, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like out there in Radioland. So the fact that our phone screener is just dressed up like Ken Bone.
Yeah.
If you weren't going to do an impression or have some kind of bit or something.
Yeah. A little weak, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
No. Well, you came up with the idea. What would you like to say is Ken Bone?
By the way, for those of you that want to see Ken Bone in studio, you check out the photo at Jim and Sam Show.
Yeah.
Because you can see him right there. It's Ken Bone.
Yeah. So, what would you like to say is Ken Bone? Ken, comment. The floor is yours.
Yeah, Ken.
Well, I just hope that this media attention lasts, and I know that people think that I'm just a quick overnight sensation, but I think I have a future, and I'm working on some things with Ariana Grande. We're in private talks via DM.
Oh, that's cool. Oof. That's cool. You're in private talks over DM, huh?
No, go ahead.
So what are you guys talking about on DM?
Yeah. No, I want to hear how
what are you guys talking about?
What are you guys talking about DM? I was just curious.
Just about respecting women and things like that.
Oh, I see.
By the way, what you can't see, and my favorite part so far, is his foot just slipping off the bottom of the chair as he said that.
Nothing's working right now.
Oh, it's so great.
Hey, Ken, how did you gain all that weight? You said you split your pants. How did you gain the weight?
It was mostly cheeseburgers, sitting on the couch a lot, depression.
You're depressed?
Yeah, well, I think this is all going to be over pretty quickly. And I
hope so.
I'm going to be facing some backlash, so.
But you just said a minute ago that you had high expectations for your future in show business.
Well, I just keep telling myself that, but realistically, it's looking bleak.
So well, then why did you say that before?
I don't know. There's ups and downs with this, showbiz.
It's been 2 minutes.
Ups and downs. Like the elevator business.
Why wouldn't you? Don't you think Ken Bone would laugh at Chip? Like, don't you think Ken Bone would get a kick out of that?
He's a funny guy, yeah.
If he's a funny guy, why didn't you just stare at him just now? All right, so should we thank our guest for stopping by?
No. We shouldn't.
Should we unceremoniously give him the old heave-ho?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicole and Ron should have thanked OJ before we should thank him.
All right, Ken. Well, I guess you should get back to phone screening for the day. I hope.
Welcome aboard, Ken.
I do hope, though, that when people call into the show at 866-969-1969 and realize that Ken Bone is our phone screener, they don't say anything rude.
Yeah. Well, I hope not.
that would be rough, right?
A little bit.
All right. Thank you, Ken.
As per your request, I'm going to go hang myself.
Ken Bone is now readjusting the video cameras.
Thank you, Ken. Good. Fix that camera. Ken Bone. I wish his name was R. Bud.
I love when people don't think like a couple steps ahead. Like, where does this go, though? Like, what's going to happen here if I do this?
Yeah.
Because I don't really see a positive spin on the outcome of that.
Nope.
Travis, we didn't tap that up, did we?
No, I think you tapped it just fine.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good. That's what we were going for.
Perfect.
We have to break early today because our first guest is at 9.
You should.
What?
You should.
Probably should, right?
Because the next one is right after.
Right after, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably take a quick one.
Yeah. She's here. Haven't announced who the guest is because we didn't.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If she comes in.
Do you think she will right now?
Who knows? Let's take a leak and we'll just have her when she comes back.
All right, we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
We'll have our guest.
Oh, I got an announcement.
What's the announcement?
October 27th through 30th, I'm doing Philadelphia Helium Comedy Club. My special is being shot in December. Tickets will be available soon here in New York. But I'm warming up, so I added dates again. This is the Helium Comedy Club. Tickets go on sale 10 a.m. this morning.
Just laughing, thinking about, like, poor D-Bag. Derek was sitting there. He was coming up with, like, a good idea. He's going to put the outfit on and everything. He was like, this will be funny. And then, poor guy, he just comes in and...
Well, thank you, Roland.
Gets hit with reality like a hammer. We're also going to have Riz Ahmed in studio later on this morning. Yeah, he's in the night of. He's in the new Star Wars movie. He's in the Jason Bourne movie.
And The Four Lions, which was one of my favorite comedies ever.
It really was funny.
Hilarious. Chris Morris did that.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So, we will talk to Riz Ahmed and our other guest when we get back here on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
On radio, we are back. Radio.
I still fuck them like I used to.
Welcome back. It's a little titty boy. Welcome back to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. That doesn't help the song, Jim. You can call the show at 866-969-1969. You can tweet us and follow the Twitter account. All our social media accounts at Jim and Sam Show. We're updating the Facebook page, Jim and Sam Show. Twitter at Jim and Sam Show. Instagram at Jim and Sam Show. As we patiently await our first guest of the morning. Do you think Donald Trump's on coke? Everybody keeps saying Carrie Fisher, who considers herself an expert on the topic, says he's on coke. He was sniffing again like crazy at the last debate.
No, I don't think he's coked up. I think he has bad sinuses, or it's like just a thing. I sniff all the time, and I'm sober.
I mean, he was sniffing, but after every... Glad you take pride in it. After every word, he was sniffing. Listen.
Well, I actually agree with that. I agree with everything she said.
And it goes on for another 40 seconds after that.
Here's the problem. Two things. One, he is probably...
Two things!
He's probably a little nervous, so he's breathing deep. You know, and he has bad sinuses, maybe.
You think so?
I don't think he's doing coke. He just...
Princess Leia thinks he's doing coke.
No.
Thinks he's all blowed out of his head.
No, I don't think so.
He says he doesn't do any drugs or drink because I think his brother was an alcoholic and died, right?
Yes.
So he says he's not on any substances whatsoever. I was surprised. I mean, he sniffed a lot more than Hillary mouth smacked. Did you notice Hillary's mouth smacked the entire debate?
It's probably dry.
Listen. That's such a gross sound.
That's what my balls sound like when I pull them off my leg when they're sweaty.
Yeah. Edgar.
Yeah. Shut up. Mike. I'm voting.
Who are you voting for? Oh, this is painful.
Ronald Reagan. Apple 5.
Just the timing and everything. It's viscerally bad.
Is it?
It's a visceral nuisance. Awful.
Fucking you are.
You are.
So yeah, I don't think you better watch. She better watch accusing people of being on coke.
Yeah, I know.
Hope she said that carefully.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't think he is. I've never heard those rumors. It wouldn't. I mean, look, nothing surprises you these days. That did surprise me.
What? Stupid, dressed up as Ken Bone?
Yeah. And now, boy, how fast did he bail out of that sweater? He untucked his shirt. What are you afraid our guests are going to see you looking foolish?
Yeah, he did. He's trying to lick his upper lip to get that Sharpie mustache off, but
Not
no
happening.
dice. No dice.
You know what will take that off? Pre-cum.
I got a little. Here you go.
Yeah. Go in there and get some fucking some clear stuff from the Tef box.
I think our guest is on her way in.
Oh, go bring her in.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
Coming in right now to
bring our guest in.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Here. Here we go.
Hi.
There she is, Nancy Grace.
Thank you for having me.
Hello.
Thank you for being here, Nancy. Welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
And that would be?
I'm Jim.
That's Jim Norton, and I'm Sam Roberts.
He speaks.
Yes, he does.
We're live. How are you this morning? You all right? You good?
I'm happy to be here.
You are?
Yeah.
You're, how do you feel about leaving HLN? Because you've been there for, what, 12 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? It's bittersweet. I know that's a cliche, but it really is because I never dreamed growing up on a red dirt road in the middle of nowhere, as some people would say, that I would ever have a show on HLN. So it was beyond anything I'd ever really dreamed of.
Did they ask you to leave or did you want to leave?
I wouldn't say that I wanted to leave. I felt like it was the right time for me to leave because I'm leaving behind a lot, but I'm going to where I want to go.
And I had, I'll be honest, I had a problem with you for a long time because I felt like you were capitalizing on tragedies. And I'm sure you were accused of that before. Were you capitalizing on this stuff?
As a crime victim myself, I guess it's the way you look at the world. I invite crime victims on and tell stories from their point of view. I help find missing people and help solve unsolved homicides. Now, from your point of view, you would say that any news report, say on ISIS or the hurricane or car crash, air crash victims is all capitalizing on misery. So that you're singling out my shows, interesting, but I think inaccurate.
I know what you mean, but I wouldn't say that just reporting on it, because it's fair. You have to do it. Victim advocacy for victims is important. All that stuff is good. What I'm saying is things like the hashtags like Tot Mom or Pot for Tot or whatever. Those are beyond just, hey, I'm reporting this and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. It's almost like I'm making this kind of a catchy thing so people associate me with it.
Because hashtags cannot be sentences. And I don't know if you're familiar with digital media, but you can't have a hashtag that is over a few words long.
Right.
So what we try to do is take a story. And I brought this really from my law school days, where I would have to condense a very difficult and convoluted case into something simple, and did with juries to break down complicated and convoluted facts and give it to them 1, 2, 3. That's how I look at cases. I usually come up with a moniker. And for whatever case it is, it could be the scenario, it could be the defendant, and that's what I call it. Oh, the Army mom. Oh, the Ohio serial killer. Like that. That's how I identify cases.
Could you see that, though, like hashtag baby and dryer could be looked at as trivializing something that would otherwise be tragic?
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Right. But you don't see it that way?
No.
And the Duke, we have to ask you about the Duke rape case, because look, I thought those guys were probably guilty too. When I first saw it, it didn't look good. But then you went after them pretty hard, and then Mike Nifon got, I guess he was disbarred, and you didn't, or did you come on and clear it up? And I just thought it was.
Well, if you read the transcripts before you asked me the question, you would know that there was no point that I ever said these guys are guilty. Although it's been commonly and very happily portrayed that I did. Also, when one of the accused came forward and gave a statement and spoke to the press and may have even answered questions, but when he spoke to the press, the camera came to me and I said, that is the state's worst nightmare, because I think that guy's telling the truth. He looks like he's telling the truth. Now, you left that out of your scenario,
well, I asked
which
you
I completely understand.
But I asked you about it. I didn't leave it out purposely. I didn't know it. So I asked you. Oh, okay. Well, how about this? You did get sued and lose, if you want to paint it that way. You
sued and lose what?
Didn't you lose to Michael Skakel for, or have to settle that?
I can't give the result, but I would not consider that a loss.
But it was settled.
By CNN, yes.
Okay. Well, then I have to ask you that.
And I would like to point out that Michael Skakel was found guilty of murder by a jury.
Yes, he was.
And that on our show, a reporter said there was DNA on the scene. And the lawsuit was not about whether he was guilty or innocent. It was about was there DNA
Yeah,
on
I know.
the scene.
I know.
So-
it was not about his guilt or innocence. He was
Right.
found guilty. I know
of
that.
the murder of a 15-year-old
Moxley, yes,
girl,
I
Martha
know.
Moxley.
Is there anything that you regret the way you did cover? Like, is there any, like, looking back, do you go, you know what? I was wrong about that, or I fought too hard on this side and I ended up being wrong, or I was presenting all this evidence that didn't actually fit the case at the end of the day. On television, of course, I'm talking about.
No, not that I know of yet. But I haven't really had time to reflect back.
On everything.
Yeah.
You took a lot of heat, too, for the report that you did on, remember when the Ultimate Warrior died? And you brought on DDP, the wrestler, and you were talking about wrestlers dying of steroids and drug overdoses and things like that, when steroids weren't involved in the Ultimate Warrior's death.
No, they were not.
And on the people that you listed a whole bunch of wrestlers that had died before they were 40. And some of the wrestlers that you listed, one of them had fallen from the ceiling. One of them had been shot. Like, there were all these guys, all these names.
Oh, I don't think it was ever said that those guys died from steroid overdose.
No, but you said that there's you said
early deaths
you established the
and untimely deaths.
but you
in the
established the
wrestling industry.
argument that there's drug abuse and steroids. Then you said, here is a list of wrestlers that died young. So you didn't say that's why they died.
I really
argument
believe that professional wrestlers are not protected. I think that everybody gets a big kick out of watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And whether the wrestling is real or not, people love watching it. And I think that those wrestlers, those women and men that go in the ring, are not protected. I don't think anybody is ever looking out for them. And I think that they're used badly.
So if that was your intention, and, you know, of course I can believe you on that, you're telling me that, what goes through your mind when a lot of wrestlers see your report and come back at you with venom saying, you're not representing us, you're not telling our story, and this what you're portraying isn't what's happening? Because that's the way
then I'm sorry they feel that way.
Most wrestlers responded. And that's, I mean, the wrestlers that were on your show, you know, Diamond Dallas Page, who was on your show, was furious. I don't know if you remember about...
I do remember.
About, you know, coming on your show.
And
he said
I
he
thought
came on false
was
pretenses.
A perfect gentleman. He could not have been nicer. And I don't want him to feel bad. And I feel bad that he feels bad.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact remains that in the wrestling industry, there is a very high occurrence of untimely deaths for a lot of different reasons. And I feel that it's the industry's fault.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think these guys and women, but mostly guys, are the ones dying inordinately young. I don't think that they are told all the risks of what they're getting into.
So when the people that you advocate for, when you're saying this, like this is your intention to advocate for these people, when the people that you're advocating for come to you and say, we don't need you doing that for us, we don't like what you're doing, don't do it.
I've rarely had that happen.
It happened in this case.
Yes, it did with that wrestler. He did not like the way the show went.
And most wrestlers that watch that, especially
I disagree with you.
I mean, I talk to wrestlers all the time.
I know you talk to wrestlers all the time, and you have talked to several wrestlers that said that.
Right.
But that does not mean most wrestlers. So
a huge
the fact
amount.
that you have talked to some wrestlers that said that.
Right.
I hear you. I respect that. And I'm sorry they feel that way.
But
I really don't know what else you want me to say.
But you're not, don't you, like you mentioned the news tie-in. And again, there's a weird line with public service and reporting something, and when it becomes, hey, this is the thing that I can associate myself with. And you know, you're kind of denying that fact.
Okay, let me just set it straight right now. I'm sorry that you guys clearly don't like what I do. I feel bad about it. So, there. You obviously don't like me. That's okay. So I'm okay with my show, and I'm okay with representing crime victims. And it's like the two of you are just so anxious to like throw a shot at me. That's okay
it's
too.
No, Nancy. It's not throwing a shot at you. It's not.
As I was saying before you interrupted.
But it's not. But you're saying something inaccurate. I'm not throwing a shot at you.
Don't mind. And I'm sorry the wrestlers feel that way. But the truth is that a huge amount of wrestlers die at a young age for a lot of different reasons. And that is what that screen was for. Now, if you or somebody else interpreted it a different way, I feel bad about that.
So no one's throwing a shot at you when saying that.
It's okay. Don't worry about
No,
it.
I'm not worried
You
about it. But
haven't
I'm
asked
saying
one decent question since I walked in here. Everything both of you have asked has been an attack.
not an
that's
attack.
okay.
The question, the things that people see now. You can't now. If you're so used to victim advocacy, I should probably get advocacy out. But you're feeling like a victim because we're asking you
No, I
questions.
don't feel like a victim.
Well, but we're not
At all.
attacking you. We're not attacking you.
And they are
Okay.
And they
I
are
asked you a
decent
question.
questions because
Okay.
people care.
Yeah.
I mean, these are things that people talk about and don't necessarily get the chance to talk to you about. So to say they're not decent questions, I don't know if that's wholly accurate.
I don't think they really care about.
That's
the
not
victim
true. We're gonna. I actually
No, you
watched.
should
I watched
absolutely-
your. I watched your clips last night. You're playing an attorney. I will promote what you're here to promote.
Absolutely.
It's called Haley Dean Mystery Murder with Love, and it premieres Sunday, October the 23rd on Hallmark at 9 p.m. It was a scene with you playing. It's kind of like a Gloria Allred type attorney, it seems, and it was good. What I saw was good. I watched it last night. We only got 3 clips, and that was what I saw.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. But I mean, don't feel
Parting
attacked.
shot.
We're not-
Anybody?
No
Bring it
parting-
on.
No, there's no parting shot.
Yeah.
It's fair for someone to say to you.
It is fair, but it would also be fair if you had a different question other than an attack. But you know what? Again,
Nancy,
I
you've made
face a lot worse
you
than
see,
you
again, this. No one said you haven't faced worse, and no one is saying that you. We're
do
not
you have
attacking
any
you.
more questions?
How do you justify latching on to all of these hashtags and things without saying that you are capitalizing on dead kids?
So you're back to your first question.
Yes,
Okay.
but I would like a
I'll
more honest answer. As a
I'll
prosecutor,
give
you should know
another
that
honest
people
answer.
bullshit.
And the answer is my program is to help solve unsolved homicides and find missing people, which we have done. Now, if you don't like that and you don't like the way I do it, then don't watch it.
I like what the answer you just gave.
I think our time is up. Bye bye.
Take care. You can leave if you want. Don't worry, we're not going to kill ourselves after the interview.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Nancy,
You're welcome.
for stopping by.
That went better than I thought it would.
I didn't get to ask her
Bye.
about Titty Boy. 2 Chains.
Oh.
Nancy Grace, ladies and gentlemen.
You
Nancy
know,
Grace.
hold on for the interview. Now listen.
How else was that going to go, though?
I don't.
And by the way,
we had to do that. Like, how do you not do that when? Look, how can you say that when she said, "Well, that's you"? You would say that reporting that. And if I don't mention that to her because I've bashed her on Twitter, then I'm a liar. I can't sit down next to her and just ask her about her thing without
anybody
being honest.
anybody in this building, honestly, that does an interview with Nancy Grace and just plays it straight and just goes like, "So, what's it like to play an attorney after being an attorney for all these years?" She's done 12 years of controversial TV, of capitalizing off this stuff. Two people she's interviewed have killed themselves after her interview. She completely fucked up the Duke lacrosse team.
What?
I just like the way you ended it.
Yeah, that's why Jim said we won't kill ourselves after the interview. 2 people have done that.
Well, so don't take that whole tough as nails. Are you gonna like that? That's please.
She's not a victim.
No.
And
I would like to have asked her. Sorry to interrupt you. I would like to know her what got her into the law, and I wish I didn't dislike her, or what would, because I am curious as to her fiance was killed, I think, when she was like really young, and that's what kind of got her into the law, which I would have been curious to hear, but I don't know the details of that.
But you don't.
But to deny that I'm latching these things to kind of build my own profile, it's just dishonest.
And you don't go on television every day, and she single-handedly, I would say, she single-handedly is responsible for turning the Casey Anthony case into a national case.
Tot mom.
Yeah, you don't do that strictly for advocacy. You do that because now it's the same reason people on Court TV did what they did. The OJ thing was good for Court TV.
Yeah. By the way, baby mom is 1 letter longer.
Than Tot.
Yes.
And she's like, we didn't
I
even
would
get
never
into the...
walk out of an interview. Like, literally, I've been in, when I had to go in, and again, this is much different, into the, you just gotta, like, no one cursed at her or said, fuck you,
No, we called her on her shit, is the thing. And it's like, if you go on and you're gonna say things like that, like you look at her clips on YouTube.
Yeah.
She obviously did things for sensational reasons. So it was like, oh, we got to watch this because Nancy's going crazy today. Nancy's talking shit about this or that. And it's like, you have to be able to back it up. We didn't even get to talk about have you seen the Elizabeth Smart clip? When she won't leave her alone about getting abducted, even Elizabeth Smart has to tell her 5 times over the course of the interview, please stop asking me about being abducted. And Nancy's just pretending to be her friend. Well,
in a weird way, I have to kind of side with Nancy. What the fuck else you had to ask Elizabeth Smart about? So what'd you think of the
Yankees? But it's like, if that interview goes any other way, it's very dishonest. Completely. I can't imagine anybody having a friendly 20, 25-minute chat with Nancy Grace. And when we accepted the interview, we were like, yeah, we'll take her if she'll come in.
I was surprised she came in. She probably, again, but I'm a liar if I don't acknowledge that I've had a problem with her. I can't.
You told her she blocked you on Twitter.
She did. Yeah, but she did. So it's fair.
She goes, and do you know how digital media works? And you go, no.
Yeah, I like to tell her she was. But she, look, she was also, I wanted to get to it. And again, I don't know she was a prosecutor and she, at least a couple of times there was accusations of misconduct. I don't know if it was true or maybe that's just what was written on the internet. You know, again, I'm not going to say she did that. But yeah, there was a lawsuit in the Skakel case, which okay, they settled.
Yeah,
but
they settled that case. They settled both suicide cases.
Oh, did they?
Both of them got settled out of court, which is like, you know, it's not just grand coincidence.
She's not a dumb person, and when she said something like you would equate reporting on ISIS, it's like no. I really wouldn't. No. A genuine report on something is the media's job, not, you know, Tot Mom is not the same as breaking news suicide bomber in Greenwich Village.
Right.
They're different intentions. They're different things.
Right. I'd love to know what the vibe is outside in the hallway.
I mean, come on. What do you want us to do with her?
Yeah, I can't.
I don't feel bad about that.
No.
And I actually did watch her clips, and as much as I do not care for Nancy Grace, the clips I saw were fine. It's not a bad movie. She was fine in it.
And by the way, I don't have any problem promoting something she's doing if she will come in here and answer real questions.
And in fairness to her, the publicist she was with, the guy she was with, he just put her book down at one point, and then she's like, these guys don't care. I was like, no, I'm going to promote what you came here for. I'm not going to not. She wrote a book called Courtroom something. I don't know the name of it, but
she took it with her.
Yeah, she should have left it.
She didn't leave you a copy?
We didn't take photos.
Shit. I didn't get a Nancy Grace photo. How great would that have been if we did a fucking nice interview with Nancy Grace and then told the audience, sorry, I know, but we really wanted a photo at the end of it. Let's go to Tony in Montana. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, fellas.
Tony!
I was listening along.
By the way, to everybody who's like tweeting and stuff about they're tired of Jim snorting, he's not snorting.
Who's tweeted that? Not one person.
I've seen it many times.
I haven't.
He's hitting the snort button
of
on his soundboard.
Watch this. I'll just keep talking right through it. See?
Go on, Tony.
Yeah, no, I was saying I had to give you guys a call because I love the unflinching way that you just kept coming back at her. And Sam, the question that you asked her, which you said, looking back on all the various cases that you covered, all the times that you jumped to conclusions, all the time that you pulled the whole guilty before proven innocent sort of attack, and she couldn't come up with one.
That's the thing. It's like okay,
liar.
Here's no attack question. Here's just a strict be honest. Think about everything that's happened. There's been a lot of controversy. Do you regret the way you did anything? And when it's a no, it's like, all right, well then go fuck yourself,
Yeah. Well, she's argumentative by nature. She's argumentative by nature, being a prosecutor, being the type of show she does. She handled that worse than I would have thought. Because we asked her questions and so look, how do you not understand that people think you're fucking capitalizing on dead kid? I know you're a crime victim and I do respect that, but a guy like John Walsh, who's also a crime victim, handles things a lot differently. And I never got the feeling like he was literally having people put in jail. I didn't get the feeling that he was tabloiding it up. I don't know. It's just a different energy I got from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also he didn't even get mad when some fucking asshole called him the name of his decapitated son.
Yeah.
So that's a good guy.
Yeah.
I see here that
Did you feel bad when your dad met him and said, you don't know how lucky you are?
There is a silver lining, John. Apparently Nancy left pissed off, and the rep said, you guys didn't even talk about her plug until he brought it up because she left. She left 10 minutes into a 25-minute interview.
And tell the rep I would never not plug. And I did watch the clips. And when I said that she's playing this person, and she was good in it, I wasn't being polite. Like, literally she was. I'm not going to let the fact that I have a problem with her personally, and I knew why she was annoyed, but that's the truth. I saw it. It's on, you watch it now. If you don't like her, just watch it to hate her. Whatever reason you watch it for, watch it.
By the way,
wasn't bad.
I literally have pro wrestlers texting me going like, thank you.
Really?
For saying that, yes.
Hope it's Hulk Hogan. I want you to come over.
Just installed a new security cam, brother.
Yeah, come on over here, Sam. I'm going to rip your asshole apart.
Shane in Indiana.
Fuck yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Piece of garbage. You heard what I said?
Wow, that was some great fucking radio, boys. I enjoyed it. I was expecting like a big shit box like the fucking train you had in, but that was fucking killer.
Yeah, people, look, we said, oh yeah, I forgot, people didn't love Mia. You know, here's why we had Mia. First of all, I like Mia, but it wasn't like we canceled the guest to have Mia Isabella on. They said, you want her in? We had nobody else yesterday. She's been in before, and she's a part of some like tabloid stories recently, so we chatted with her.
Yeah.
We didn't do a whole hour of porn, so what happens on the set? We just talked to her, and people liked it, and some people didn't.
Right.
So whatever, guys. Every guest is not going to be a home run for you, but we're trying to be.
I thought she was interesting, and for every 45 minutes we spend getting inside the mind of a tranny, maybe we'll do a 10-minute walkout with Nancy Grace.
Absolutely.
Like, that's a nice trade-off.
That's a fair balance. But thank you, sir. I appreciate your call.
Let me go
you little silly goose.
Let me go to Dan in Cleveland then. What's going on, Dan? Welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Fuck that bitch.
All right, now let's not get to name calling.
Yeah.
What I didn't get is when you asked her about the Duke trial and how when she was sued, and like if you're found fucking innocent, you're not gonna be like, I'm not gonna talk about that. Like,
well, the whole thing with
I was found innocent. Next question.
And again, I don't know every fact of it. So when she said you left that out, like that annoyed me so much because I would have just said, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that."
By the way, you're asking a question. There's no left that out. It's like here's the question, and we're allowing you. By the way, if you notice, there wasn't a lot of interrupting Nancy Grace. There was a lot of dead space because we were giving her as much room as she wanted to explain whatever she wanted.
Yeah.
You should have asked why she's such a cunt.
All right,
you
that
know,
was actually...
sir, look, that was our question on the list. But
allegedly.
Allegedly. Why are you such a cunt?
Yeah.
That we didn't. Unfortunately, we didn't get to it before she had to leave.
Victim advocacy. I can't believe I couldn't get that word out. Advocacy.
Because you were excited.
Victim advocacy is important, and it's great when it feels like it's not capitalizing, and a lot of people have accused her of that, and I've been one of them, and I think that's what she does.
Do you think she'll unblock you on Twitter?
I hope so. I want to open a dialogue.
David in Tennessee.
Shouldn't you guys maybe butter her up first?
We buttered her. I gave her one butter up.
Yeah, I
question.
said good morning.
Yeah, I mean, there's not like. Honestly,
you started out with, I do not like you.
No, you know what, dude? It's not about, I don't like to be rude to a guest like that. I really don't, or to come right out. But with her, I've been very public, with not trusting her motives. And I'm a liar if I don't address that up front. It's like I can't not address that. I didn't want to address it rudely. I tried to say, like, I've had a problem with you, because otherwise I'm being a fucking fake.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's not the problem with the buttering up.
So I'm sorry to anybody who liked Nancy Grace, but there's no way to do that.
Nobody likes Nancy Grace.
But you know what I'm saying. There was no way to do that.
I think that when you have a guest that's as big a scumbag as she is, it's like you can do a little bit of buttering up, but the first question that I asked was a butter up question.
Yeah.
And after that, it's like, we know our time's going to be limited anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I was surprised. Honestly, and again, as a prosecutor and as an ex-attorney, she's certainly not a dummy, and she's certainly slippery in a verbal debate. You know, she's not a fool. But
I'm surprised she didn't stick around and
pound
us into the ground if she's this great prosecutor.
We weren't hitting her that hard. Like, it wasn't like, you fucking bitch. You were like, Jesus Christ, that sent you out of the room?
Right.
Ugh.
Like, hey, let's ask you about the things you've done.
You goose. We got Riz Ahmed we should bring in shortly, too. Well, we can do this for another couple minutes. This is fun.
Yeah, I'll take another call. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll get to Riz at 9:30. We have him at 9:30, or he's out there now?
Oh, I thought he was out there now.
Yeah, 9:30, right?
Are you sure he's out there now?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, he's out there right now?
No, he's not out.
Oh, 9:30,
Roland
right?
said he was.
Roland says stuff.
Did he? Let me
Yeah.
check.
I just talked to Spencer. Told me 9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he said it is available.
No, Roland's standing by a computer. He's not.
What's Roland doing?
Standing by a computer.
Roland's probably all worked up because we just had a guest walk out.
Oh, okay.
John in Minnesota.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, just wanted to say she was hateable from your butter up question. You asked her, 12 years, and she's like, well, I grew up on a dirt road in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Cliche after cliche after cliche.
You know, I never thought a country girl like me would become the big Hollywood star that I am.
Exactly.
And then...
All right, way to f***er, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Let's go to Patrick in New York. You're on with Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, listen, I actually literally had to go on Twitter to see if you guys had a picture of her. I'm like, there's no way this woman's going to come on the show. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Nancy Grace? I'm like, this has to be a work.
Dude,
I didn't believe you guys actually had. She walked in, and I had to go and saw the picture, and then I was like, oh wow, it's her.
Jim has trashed her on the air and on Twitter so much that she's blocked him. I've trashed her on the air more times than I can count. I mean, we just did it like a few weeks ago. We were trashing her on the air. So,
I guess it's a good thing that it's a brand new show. They didn't have a lot of background on, the new names.
Yeah,
so that's how come she got on.
I was surprised she came in.
We disguised ourselves so well with the show name, too.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to know who's on this thing.
That was great.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Patrick.
Thank you.
Later, guys.
Frank in Michigan.
Oh, Frank was better.
I was hoping that was coming.
Yep.
What's up, Frank?
How's it going?
Frank and Blam muffins.
That woman is the biggest punk that I
Frank!
Your phone shit in the bed.
He's listening to the radio.
Yeah, let's go to Frank in the Bronx.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Hi, Frank. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, that was awesome. I think that woman is exactly what's wrong with the media today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly what's wrong with it. They exploit everything. They keep going over. You might not be able to watch this video, and they keep showing it over and over and over again.
By the way, so the only regret I'm glad that I was able to sneak in my Titty Boy 2 Chainz reference before the door shut. She definitely heard the name Titty Boy again.
Yeah. Do you think she got the suicide reference?
Oh yeah. You know, it probably didn't help disguise that reference that the minute you said it, while she was standing right there, I looked at her and started cackling.
By the way, Dr. Sandman on Twitter raises a good point. Learn how to play good cop, bad cop, dummies.
No. You got a couple of rebel cops in here.
Yeah, we're good cop and crazy good cop, like the new Lethal Weapon poster.
It's gross. Speaking of Rebel 1 is coming out in December. Who's in Rebel 1?
I am.
No, you're not.
Fucking stay, Darth. What's going on?
It's Riz Ahmed. We'll get to Riz. Take a quick break.
Well, where is
You don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to.
We can. How long do we have him for?
I think till 10.
Yeah, so we'll get him in at 9. We'll take a break. We'll come back at 9:30. Huh?
You want to take a quick break?
Is he right there or no?
No, he won't be there yet.
I know Roland went down to get him. But
He says he's coming down.
We can do a quick break.
We'll do a quick break.
Okay, do a quick break. Oh, yeah, okay.
Do a
That was
quick break.
confusing
Do a quick
me.
break.
Whatever.
Do a
Fucking
quick-
teft it up in there. We're right back.
Consider this a trigger warning. Jim Norton and Sam Roberts are back.
Welcome back to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Jim Norton is draining the lizard, as they say. We're getting ready to have Riz Ahmed in here. Hopefully he will not walk out of the interview. That's our new goal going forward with the show, to make sure that the guests do not walk out. So far, we are 0 for 1 today, so we'll see how the second interview goes. You could tweet the show at Jim and Sam Show. We're also on Facebook at Facebook/Jim and Sam Show, and Instagram at Jim and Sam Show. We're going to have video of the... Do you think we'll be able to get the entire Nancy Grace interview into one video?
That's a lot.
12 minutes.
No, I know. That's why I was sarcastic about it. Yep. D-Bag looks at me and he goes, yeah, it was 12 minutes. Of course. But we'll have that up on the YouTube channel post-haste. We'll have that up today. So that'll be exciting. Riz can come in. Oh. Is he out there? Yeah.
How long was the interview? 12?
12 minutes.
That's 10 minutes longer than I expected it to go.
Yeah, I mean, she did hang in there longer than I thought she was going
great.
to. Riz Ahmed's coming in.
We're coming in with the Sweatshop Boys.
Yeah, come in with the Sweatshop Boys. Everybody's welcome.
How you doing?
What's up, guys? Welcome to
How you doing, man?
Good. Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. What's going on?
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, good, brother. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming in.
Where should we all sit?
Right here, so you.
So 1, 2, and the
You
third
there.
chair
Just you there. That's good.
Okay.
Yes.
And this one?
Yeah, that works. Whatever.
Guys, let's have a seat.
Whatever you guys need. I will warn you.
This is actually. I didn't realize that this was a group. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't a solo interview. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the Sweatshop Boys.
It's the Sweatshop Boys. Have you, Riz? Like your career is on like this crazy upswing moment right now, and I know you've been like working forever and like trying to get here, but everything is like hit all at once with Rogue One coming out and the night of and the Bourne movie and everything. Is it tough for you to go back to Sweatshop Boys after that, or do you go like, I have to focus on this?
No, it's a pleasure and it's my priority, really. I mean, that's what I'm here in New York doing. The whole of November we're touring, and it's not even so much go back to Sweatshop Boys, because Sweatshop Boys is something that's come to fruition for the first time right now. Heems and I actually connected when I was researching for the night of. I had to play a character from Queens.
Right.
So Heems hit me up. And on Twitter, like a while ago before that, and when I got there, I was like, oh yeah, that guy, that rapper from Queens, I'll link up with him. So we clicked right away. You know, we've got a lot in common. The way we see the world, our backgrounds, our kind of life stories in a way, almost. We're just on opposite sides of the Atlantic. So we connected right away, and we've been recording a little bit on and off over those last couple of years, but we really put the album together with our producer, Radinho, this May. And we did the whole thing in 5 days. And,
wow.
Yeah, we worked pretty quickly.
That's how they used to be recorded. Like in 1971, like Sabbath did their first album in like 12 hours. Like people didn't fuck around back then. It's a good way to save money.
Especially because before it was digital. It was like you were paying for studio time, you were paying for tape, you were paying for all this stuff. So it was like, get it done quickly as possible.
Exactly. This time we're paying the price of Heems' anger if we don't finish by lunchtime. So it's just as expensive.
I like to get in there and get it done quick, you know?
Yeah.
So you're not like a million take dude. You like a couple of them and you're done.
Nah, I just try to get it done quick and try not to think about it too much and try not to listen to it later and try not to remember it for stage shows. And just
wow, that's exactly how I look at my ass.
He doesn't even like listening, he just likes finishing.
Yeah. That was a direct studio quote. It was, I don't like listening.
Like a really inconsiderate lover. Just likes finishing, not listening.
Exactly, yeah. Clean off your face on the way out the door.
So there's no going back and being like, oh, I think I could do that word better, or let me try to do that line better.
That's me. That's the difference between me and him. So I'm like that guy who literally stays up till 4 a.m. the next day after we finish the album going, guys, I think I mispronounced that word. And Heems is like, meanwhile, already cooking up like, a 3-course meal for us, like going, what track?
Yeah, but you need that though. You need a balance of one guy who's obsessed with it, and then the other guy who's like, "Dude, relax, it's good." Because then you find the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Absolutely, and I always joke that these guys are the yin and yang. Even though they got a lot of commonalities, they are very different personalities as well.
So
no, he's just sizing us up right now.
Well, but that makes sense though.
They're both wearing white caps and have brown skin. I mean, how different can
the brown
they be,
skin
right?
part I didn't notice, but thanks for mentioning it.
Oh, we're colorblind in this studio.
Yes, we only see souls. By the way, I got to say, the Four Lions, fucking
amazing.
Thank you,
genius, man.
Thank you so much.
So good to take to take such a hard subject to be funny about and make such a hilarious fucking film. I mean, that was just awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. Well, yeah, I mean, that kind of combination of humor with politics is something that I think isn't done enough because people are sometimes scared to do it. And actually, it's a really great way of Trojan horsing some humanity into conversations that become polarizing and stale. And that's really kind of what we're doing with Sweatshop Boys as well. It really is it's kind of a political album, but it's got a lot of jokes on it. It's a lot of fun. Radinho's beats are really hype. So in that same kind of way, we hope it walks that line between slightly comic and absurd, but like political and hard hitting as well. So yeah, the album's called Kashmir and it's out on Friday. Yeah. And we're doing when does this go out actually?
Now
we're live.
Oh, we're live. It's not a podcast.
We're live.
Yeah, we're live all over the US and all over Canada.
Okay. Well, if you're in New York, we're gonna do a meet and greet.
Turntable Lab 6, and we'll be
tonight.
Tonight
In
at
New
6,
York.
yeah. And then we'll
Where's
be in
Turntable
LA
Lab?
next month. We'll be in DC, San Francisco, and just kind of...
Where's Turntable Lab?
Somewhere in Manhattan, I don't know.
Okay, cool. Well, you really don't give a shit about the details.
Right? Yeah.
It's on 7th Street, downtown.
I just show up and rap.
Right, you just get in the car. Wherever the car is going, that's where you're going. Do you ever worry that, or do you think in terms of, okay, if I say something that somebody doesn't like on this album, are they going to cast me in this movie? You know what I mean? Like when you're dealing with political stuff, as fickle as Hollywood is, and as much goes into casting that doesn't necessarily have to do with the acting, does that worry you?
Well, I think 2 points really. First of all, that ship has sailed a long time ago. I mean, my first track was called the Post 9/11 Blues, and it was banned on British radio.
Why was it banned?
Because it had rhymes like, post 9/11, getting round can cost you some cash. It cost 12 dead Iraqis for a gallon of gas. And, that kind of thing. It was like gallows humor. We're all suspects, so watch your back, because I farted and got arrested for a chemical attack. This kind of thing.
Why would they ban that, though?
Thank you. You should be the controller of the BBC. I've always said this about you.
I like BBC.
When did that come out, though?
That was 2006. And,
okay, so it's a little bit removed.
Yeah,
it's
it was 5 years
removed.
later.
5 years
from 9/11.
Okay, well, I thought you were like, what year
that
you guys
thing
living in?
with
2016, guys. We're 2016, right? Like that was 5 years ago. These guys are so high. Wow. Look. First of all, I've been kind of, speaking my mind about stuff, and the thing is, I've spoken my mind the whole way through my career, and I like to think I do it in a kind of humorous way, a thoughtful way, in a way that brings people in rather than alienating them and pissing them off. I'm not getting up on a soapbox and giving anyone a lecture, so. I think people respect if you have opinions as long as they're well thought through and put across in a considered way.
If you do it through your work, yeah, that's what's great when an artist does it through their work. Whether it's through I don't know if Chris wrote Four Lions, but whoever did he write it?
Well, he wrote it with Sam Bain and Jesse Armstrong, who write on Veep, and who also wrote Peep Show. So they're kind of comedy legends. Yeah. For American listeners who don't know Chris Morris, he's kind of like the Kaiser Soze of British comedy. He's, he's like this mythical dark knight who kind of sweeps in and out, causes controversy, and then bounces for a decade.
Yeah, he did that big thing about some fake pedophile documentary or something, or whatever. News. What was it?
Yeah. That was Brass Eye. Yeah, a real cult kind of series that he did.
And when he just drops it and then retreats. So
that episode was called Peter-geddon. Something like that.
It's a fake news show called Peter-geddon, which Heems is going to freestyle about now.
No.
You also probably have to be okay to talk about this stuff. Like if you bring something up, whether it's on a record or in an interview or whatever it is, you'd have to be okay to talk about it. We had Nancy Grace in here. You know Nancy Grace, before you came in, and she walked out within 7 minutes because
12.
Was it 12?
That's well,
she walked out after 12 minutes.
This guy was making the BBC jokes again.
I couldn't help it.
Leave her alone, man. Such a bully. Get your hand off my leg. But I think that's the first thing is you do it through work, do it thoughtfully, people respect it. But I also think, look, if there's a kind of film franchise or a network or some kind of platform that is so sensitive and so anti-controversy that they don't let people have opinions, then they're probably not going to cast someone like me anyway who doesn't fit the mold.
Right.
I'm already kind of find myself kind of on the periphery of what is the standard mold of casting because I'm not a white dude, 6'2", blonde hair, blue eyes. So I'm already kind of in a kind of political position just by being me and looking like me, being born into a certain body in a certain space and time.
Right.
So politics has already landed on my doorstep from day one. So it's
so when you get cast,
it's not like I'm going out of my way to be political. That's something you inhabit anyway.
And how controversial is it really to be I'm a brown dude and these are my experiences? It's not. I mean, the fact that we're even talking about it as something that could jeopardize the career. What's so crazy about it?
No, you're right.
Stop talking about your experiences. There's no place for that in art.
But you don't when you get cast in Star Wars, for example. You're not like Disney. Have you looked into everything I've done. You're sure we're going to do this, right?
But why do you think that the head of Disney will be calling me up saying, listen, could you turn the dial down on the brown? I mean, like, I can't
Disney
do that
doesn't
physically.
necessarily like-
what is that? I mean, how is...
It's never the head. It's always somebody, but there's always somebody panicky at networks.
Yes.
It's never the head guy. They
listen,
actually hear about it when
I
it's
have
already
to say-
down the road, the controversy.
You know, all the guys at Lucasfilm are amazing. Kathy Kennedy. I mean, look, these are the guys who decided that the next Star Wars film, Rogue One, is populated by a lead role of a girl, a second lead of a Hispanic dude, and the supporting cast is Forrest Whitaker, a black dude, me, a Pakistani, 2 Chinese dudes, and a robot. So it's pretty diverse.
Right.
So
Thank
it's
God they
like-
got that robot in.
Yeah, I know. The robot lobby would be pissed.
Yeah, totally.
What is Forrest Whitaker doing? Who's he playing? Or you're not allowed to say?
Well, I'm probably not allowed to say, but like the quickest Google would tell you. So
I try not to.
I feel like I just shouldn't tell you because you should have researched that.
No, you know what it is? I never Google a guest. I'm the lie. I just wanted to sound like I had a medical reason for not knowing that. I wanted to sound like there was like an artistic reason for me not knowing that.
Like Larry King stuff, like, no, I do no research. It's part of my method. You're like, no.
I want to really, my goal here in life is to try and get Heems into a Star Wars movie because I feel like he'd bring a lot to the table.
Do you want to act Heems?
He does act.
I do like a little
fine
bit
actor.
of stuff here and there, but more than anything, I just want to play a guy that gets shakedown for information on like a Law and Order episode. Yeah, I
He's
feel
been
like
practicing for that
once
for a
I would
while.
do that, it would be like, yeah, I see him sometimes. Gin and tonic sits over there. Like, that's the extent of that's what I'm aiming for. So.
That's your bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if you'd be very effective in the Death Star. You know, it's like they're coming. Gives a shit.
I have to move this box, and I have to turn around and grab this drink. And
Were you fans of those films growing up? It's such a stupid question, but it's like, you know, my generation was, 'cause I'm 48, but, you know, it's like, do younger people, like, you know, watch those, or do they not hold up?
Yeah, no, they definitely hold up. It's kind of part of our shared, like, you know, heritage. It's just you know, it's film mythology. Everyone's kind of schooled in it. I remember it was the first film that I saw, like, kind of watching them on VHS, you know, with my big brother. I didn't have a clue what was going on, but I remembered, you know, those AT-ATs and, you know, those little Ewoks and the gold bikini and you know, I remembered all those things and I was just like, wow.
It really does. It introduces you to animals, to machines, to sexuality. Like, it's all in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, to good and bad.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I just want to be a part of that moment.
To good and bad.
I didn't have anything. I just wanted to throw something in so people could go, you hear all the guys talking?
Yeah. You said the good and bad guy. He was.
That guy's got morals.
He was good at that.
He pointed out something no one thought of.
Do you think the culture that we're in right now it lends itself to a good time for you guys to be putting music out, specifically with Trump and everything that he's been saying?
I mean, it's weird because we people have been saying how timely the album is, but we kind of deal in these things, think about these things, live through these things all the time, and it's kind of unfortunate that it's timely, but it's a reality for us all the time. It just so happens that we made this album, the same stuff that we've been working on for 4 years, and then this happens in America, and that happens in the UK with Brexit, and even you know, him being Pakistani, myself being Indian. There's a lot going on in India and Pakistan right now too that makes the album somewhat timely, but for us it's just a constant reality, and now it seems to be getting more media attention, and then it might die down for like a year or two and then it'll pop back up, but that's just the media attention. The reality of it is consistent.
You have a fucking phenomenal radio voice, by the way.
Thank you.
Phenomenal voice.
Thank you. Yeah.
Riz, how did
it's
you...
my morning voice.
No, it's good. It's a really good bass. My voice is fucking horrible and his is worse.
It's the worst.
Killer voice.
I know, I'm very envious of it. Anytime I hear anybody that can like speak, and I want to listen to that guy. He sounds like he can speak with authority. Like, it doesn't matter what you're saying. Like, it's just like, I trust him. I trust him.
That's the really
This is a good show.
No, but it's nice. We're two mousy douchebags verbally.
Yeah. Riz, how did you react to Brexit being passed?
Well, you know,
no pressure.
I just found that it was sad. No, I was just thinking, do we need to give people a little bit of context of who the fuck we are and what we're talking about here with the album? With like Sweatshop Boys was me and Heems and Radinho. Right. He's Indian from Queens, New York. I'm Pakistani from London. So it's like a cross-border, cross-cultural thing. Radinho, amazing producer, works with people like Hudson Mohawk, all this kind of stuff. And pulled together this palette of like Indian, you know, Pakistani sounds mixed with grime and hip hop and trap music and dance music.
And we did, by the way, we were playing one of your tracks before you came in. That's what it was for the listeners at home.
Right, cool. And so the album is called Kashmir, and it is I guess a kind of, we're living in a time when people are forcing you to choose. You're either this or that.
Right.
You're either for us or against us. You're left or right. And this is a kind of celebration of like people who are mixed up and are kind of in between spaces, which is why the album talks a lot about airports. When you're in that kind of in between space and people are judging you for it. I think airports are kind of good example of that.
And by the way, the Turntable Lab for tonight is it's 120 East 7th Street from 6 to 8 p.m. here in Manhattan. If these guys are doing a meet and greet, if you want to go down, just so you know, Burlington.
But the reason I brought up Brexit is because it seemed like we have a possibility of a very similar thing happening with Trump here, because it seemed like all the people that I've spoken to that didn't want it to be passed didn't think it was going to get passed. Like they were all just like, no, of course it won't get passed. Of course it won't. And then, you wake up and boom, there it is. It's passed. It's done. It's approved. We're good. And people were like shocked by that, which I found kind of fascinating, because usually you kind of can gauge which direction a vote is moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's first one lesson to learn from Brexit to the Americans is make sure you get out and vote. Particularly young people. I think a quarter of young people actually went and voted.
Right.
And I think overwhelmingly 80% of young people wanted to stay in the EU, and it would have swung the vote. So get out and vote, because I think the fact is probably a lot more people want to vote for Trump than are admitting it right now. I mean, I don't know. I'm not American. Do you kind of see that on?
Those are the parallels that have been made. Yeah. And it's interesting because the underlying idea is like, I know this is racist, so I don't want anybody to know that I know this is racist. But when I'm in that booth alone, I'm going to vote for Brexit or Trump.
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily racist to vote for him. I'm still undecided, and I know it's not. But I don't think it's racist.
As an example of what the reasoning being, all right, people associate him with this, so I don't want people to know I'm going to vote for him.
Societally,
and whatever, for me, it might be racism, but whatever that point or whatever, he's offered many ways to offend people.
Yeah, he has.
You can pick and choose at this point.
But I'm interested to hear, because this is something I hear from other people. They kind of put up this moral equivalence between the two, as if Hillary's kind of corrupt too. Yeah, I guess she's probably as dodgy as any seasoned politician who has had to cut deals and be in public life for that amount of time has been. But we're not talking about a level of corruption where we're talking about someone who strategically bankrupts himself time and time again just to rob from people, who has been taken to court for refusing to sell condos to black people, has several allegations of sexual assault. A recording's just come out of him saying he wants to grab pussy and move on bitches. At what point, and he calls Mexicans rapists, he wants to do a kind of Holocaust style registration of Muslims. At what point do we go, yeah, maybe that guy's a little bit more messed up than the others?
He's no more messed up than the rest of them, I don't think. Honestly, because I find most of them in that world to be repulsive.
Can you name me anyone else who has got that particular gourmet collection of crazy shit?
Hillary's husband has been accused of rape. He was our president. He's been accused of rape. I mean, Bill Clinton...
Has Hillary been accused of rape?
No, but I'm just saying...
And has he been accused of rape by loads of different people?
Trump's never been accused of rape. He's never been accused of rape. Bill Clinton has. Yes,
Bill
he has.
Clinton's
So
been
is Bill
accused.
Clinton. The point I'm making is this. She took the moral stance. And I thought she did well in the debate. But she took the moral stance of, that's who Trump is, he's not fit. But it's if that makes you unfit, then how are you not calling out your own husband who used to... And again, I don't have any problem with him doing that. But it's you can't take the moral high road on one and then ignore... do you know he bashed her husband, who's going to be the first gentleman? She didn't defend her husband. It's almost doesn't that call into question her judgment?
And she's been accused of threatening the women.
They're all shitty on that. The only one, morally, the Obamas, I don't think behave that way. I think Obama's got a very clean sexual history. But for him, it was, how could you be friends with Jeremiah Wright? How could you... There's always a bunch of shitty connections and shitty things in their past. Trump is just not a seasoned politician. So he hasn't learned how to beautifully talk his way out of it. The rest of them have amazingly smooth, palatable, and malleable answers. He doesn't have those.
He
just spits
he
dumb
uses
shit
the
out.
language of a fifth grader, so it's easy
Sometimes he does,
easy to appeal to a larger group of people when your words are as simple as, this thing is good, but that thing is bad.
Well, there is something about that when you're used to people. The problem we have with most politicians is that you never feel like you know where any of them stand, good or bad. The issue is, I don't believe any of them.
Yeah, brother, you know what? I hear you about I just want to as in from an outside of America perspective, I just want to let you know that, the argument you're making to everyone outside of America, I'm going to speak for the rest of the world, is bonkers. Comes across as bonkers. Because what we're talking about here is someone who is a proto-fascist. If someone gets up and says, a candidate got up and said, you know what, we need to register all Jews, and we're not going to let any more Jews or any more gays into the country. That's fucked up. And we go, wow, this person's following in the footsteps of Hitler. Because it says it about someone who's a group that are already demonized as a kind of like legitimized hate group. We're kind of going, well, yeah, maybe we should register all Muslims. That completely flies in the face of the fundamental principles that America is based on, which is why America is so admired and so many people want to come here, because it has this sense of openness and absorbing all that is good in the world. And by erecting those boundaries and saying, yo, if you're part from this group, we don't want you, we want to lock you up, we want to kick you out, that's not just racist, that's un-American. And to say that up front that, yo, the elections are rigged, and to call into question the legitimacy of the system just because he knows there's a risk of him losing. Again, we're talking about a proto-fascist.
Did you see what happened with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Bernie Sanders? The Democratic Party consciously fucked Bernie Sanders, who I also liked, because he felt like he was a bit on the outside.
Him too, yeah.
And people misread Americans on why there's something appealing about Trump. It's not about him demonizing brown people. That's not what I find appealing about him at all. It's what I dislike.
It's weird that you don't find that like a complete, red line through him for that reason.
Because
that's not a red line he's crossed.
Here's what I see that as. He is just not... He just spits stupid things out. They're reactionary things that he thinks...
So he should be president? This guy should have the nuclear codes?
Again, the nuclear codes, he's not going to push a nuclear button. He's too narcissistic to want to kill himself. He has more reason to live than Hillary.
And I
all
think
he's doing is fucking a hot woman. Hillary's husband cheated with everybody. So I think Trump's got more reason to stay alive than Hillary.
There's a bizarre...
But it's not as cut and dry as people think. Americans are not liking Trump because, he's going to boot the Mexicans out. Nobody thinks that's going to happen. Nobody wants to see Muslims registered. But he seems like some sort of an answer for the blindness of political correction. And being PC, I think, is very dishonest. And there's something that feels honest about him, even if it's wrong.
And I think that's what the honesty is what you hit on. So there's this bizarre. What I'm finding is I
just think it's weird that we're talking about someone this guy as being honest when every objective fact-checking attempt on any of his speeches, statements, claims, man, his figures are more crooked than that wig. Like any kind of scrutiny or fact checking under any of the statements he's made have come up as nonsense. At the debates, in interviews, people go, "You said this." He goes, "No, I didn't." You've got him on tape there saying it. So the idea that Trump is honest is kind of bonkers to me.
Let me amend that. He's honest about the way
he's transparently dishonest.
He's honest about the way he feels about things. He's a reactionary guy. He says things, but he's honest about his opinions on things, and then you can determine what you want to do about that. I
don't know. Look, ultimately, I am biased, but forgive me if I'm part of a kind of an ethnic group that risks being registered and exterminated by the person
nobody wants to
transparently dishonest. Cool, but I just think it's scary times.
Okay, but it's not about that. What people if Obama, and again, it may be a strategic thing, so I kind of give Obama, I'm not 100% sure on why. They don't say Islamic terrorism because they're afraid of being offensive. And it's what are you doing? You're not being straight about, if the problem was, if the problem is Italians, you say the problem is, I don't understand why that's seen as racist to just speak honestly about something. And then that's the problem. He's kind of a mirror to how bad the rest of them are. I wish he was. If Bernie Sanders had gotten through, I would have a hard time choosing between Bernie and Trump. I would have a hard time. Hillary, I'm still not sure of. I still may vote for her.
Well, bro, I respect your honesty, and that's an interesting insight into, it just shows how disillusioned people are with the political establishment, that they're willing to vote in a monstrous clown. So I respect your honesty there, but I do think it's terrifying.
Yeah, I know people are scared of him, but again, Obama's a very genuine guy, and he wanted to close Guantanamo, and he couldn't get it done. George Bush, like him or hate him, was genuine about the fact he hated abortion, and he couldn't get that. And, they only have so much power with checks and balances. He's not going to wreck the country. The Democrats hate him. The Republicans can't stand him. He's not going to push the button and kill everybody, but he's a great fuck you to the rest of them. That's why I like him. And maybe that's childish, but that's what I like about him.
It screws everything up. And there's also something...
That's what Brexit was about. It was well, you know what? I'm going to shoot myself in the face to piss everyone else off.
Right.
It's the counties and the groups, socioeconomic groups that voted most heavily for Brexit are the ones that are in greatest receipt of EU funding. So they're the counties and the areas and the groups in the UK that are going to be the most financially screwed over by Brexit, and the ones who voted for it the most. And in the same way, I think if, you know, the kind of the underclass and the working class who are feeling squeezed right now by inequality, if they think that a billionaire that inherited his money and strategically went out to lost it and robbed people 6 times straight is some blue collar hero, good luck.
That's also true. Yeah, I don't believe that either. Like the fact that is how disillusioned people are with it. The fact that all of a sudden, you're right, a billionaire is seen as the guy who understands the working class. Hillary is much better, I think, for the average working class. At least I think she cares more about the average working class person. Yeah, on that, yes, absolutely.
On that note, new Sweatshop Boys album is out on Friday.
And you can meet these guys, the Turntable Lab, 120 East 7th Street, from 6 to 8 o'clock here in Manhattan tonight.
Yeah. Vinyl records, CDs, all that, cassette tapes, everything.
Yeah, we're selling cassettes.
Are
you selling cassettes?
Well, where do you play them? Is there anywhere to play them? My car, I haven't seen a cassette player in a long time.
I don't know. I have no
You just
idea.
like doing it?
Yeah,
Urban Outfitters has little cassette players and stuff. They're coming back.
People want like actual, tangible music they can hold in their hand again. I mean,
that's what younger people, I hate to say this because I'm almost 50, but the younger people miss that, like the whole smell of a new record, or when you open up that just having the little booklet to leaf through. There was something very like tactile about that.
Going to a store just to buy a record on release day and being like, what's coming? Yeah.
But that's our tie-in. We're kind of like the Apple of the analog era, because we're going to sell people cassette tapes and then we're going to sell them cassette players.
A little more in common with Trump than you thought.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot, guys. Get Cashmere, and we'll be right back after this.
Get comfortable. Jim Norton and Sam Roberts are back.
Welcome back to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, home of Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. You can follow us on Twitter at Jim and Sam Show. On Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, the username is Jim and Sam Show. YouTube channel getting updated every single day. So subscribe to it, and we'll be able to get that URL going soon. Everything is being started from scratch. So please, if you enjoy the show at all, go ahead. And even if you don't enjoy the show, just click the thing on social media. You follow 100 people already. Might as well make it 101.
Yes.
Follow us across the board. Jim Norton is going to be performing his brand of humor
October 27th through the 30th in Philadelphia at Helium. My website has not been updated yet. Why would it be? Just go to Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia and get tickets. Tickets are on sale as of right now.
Halloween pre-show, huh? If you need a couple of laughs before your scares.
Yeah, maybe I'll be dressing up. But yeah, come down. I'm working out, again, now that I'm shooting in December here in New York, it gives me a little more breathing room, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going on sale. It is on sale?
On sale as of now, 10 a.m.
All right. So make sure that you get there and you get your tickets to see Jim in Philly. I want everybody to know, I'm sure everybody was worried as of Friday's show, that the spirit of Eddie Q has been with me. Eddie Q from Apple. We were making fun of Eddie Q.
I don't know him.
He's an executive at Apple that always does he likes to put himself on camera. He always does what are those things called? The speeches? Keynotes. Tell Derek to stop fucking yelling
really
when he answers the
worst.
phone.
Very loud.
I'm looking for
Is
one
he loud
thing.
in there, Travis?
Well, it's very audible when I turn the microphone on. I can hear him in the background.
Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, what's your name? It's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Eddie Q. It's this weird looking dude who does all the Apple keynotes. He puts himself in the Apple commercials. We're pretty sure that he's on an egomaniacal trip to take over Apple and all their products and name them after himself. For instance, the Q phone and the Q Mac. But his spirit was with me. I had to, it got ridiculous with my phone. Because I was talking about how my phone has completely shit the bed on Friday. And as of Friday night, I turned my phone on at one point, and all my texts were deleted.
I've heard that that's been happening to people. What the fuck is happening with the iPhone?
I'll tell you what's happening. They update the operating system, and then they fuck your phone up, and they go, oh, would you want to buy a new one? That's what's happening.
They're such cocksuckers. I won't do that new update to 10. I just won't do it.
Don't do it, dude.
I will not do it.
It's a fucking trick. You know what I had to do?
It's a real piece of shit.
It is a piece of horse shit. Here's what I had to do. I had to delete my phone entirely, like factory reset, and then update from an iCloud backup.
It's fucking...
And I'm just waiting for it to fall apart again.
I'm having problems on my... I can't back my phone up. They're saying there's not enough space on my hard drive. I haven't backed my phone up since the end of July.
And you won't put it on the iCloud, right?
No, because that's how people get hacked.
Right.
That's how they get hacked. It's because people fucking hack them through that dog shit cloud. And plus, the first time I did Mobile Me, I was losing contacts. It was doubling my contacts.
But that was like
I don't
10
care.
years ago.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fuck with the iCloud.
I'm telling you, all I want, honestly, and I've told this to a lot of people, to tell you the truth, all I want is a BlackBerry again. Just something that doesn't have all this, because they put all this bullshit on these iPhones now.
Just back it up to your computer. I don't deal with the iCloud ever. Back it right up to the computer.
My shit won't back up. It doesn't do anything anymore. There's an update. I updated to 10. There's an update to 10.0.2. It won't update it. It just has errors. It won't back up to a computer. It has errors.
Yeah, I hear it stinks.
It's the worst. And then, it's not...
It's just fine.
Because you bought a new phone.
Yeah, but it was fine before I bought the new phone.
It wasn't fine.
My manager lost all his texts. He got them back to an iCloud backup.
See?
But that's also the way they encourage people to use iCloud.
But if this was really an issue, you'd be hearing about it.
I am.
No,
I heard about it from two people
on the
I know.
news.
Yeah. And it's not even just two people, by the way. It's last professional broadcaster, primetime Sam Roberts, and one of the greatest comedians of all time, Jim Norton, okay? This is more than two people saying it. Thank you for the snort.
You're welcome.
Sound machine.
Yes, it was a sound machine snort.
Yeah. But then I find out, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll go over to Samsung. And they're like, well, I hope it's not the Note 7, because we're not even making them anymore. Because first they set everybody on fire, then we remade them, and then the remakes set everybody on fire. So they're not making Note 7s at all anymore. Because they keep lighting people's crotches and houses and children on fire. It's crazy.
It's a weird feature.
I know. I don't know why it would be a part of it. I don't know how that could happen. I've heard of things overheating, but it's just burning everybody's house to the ground.
Eddie Q wouldn't put that in a phone.
No, unless it was Tim Cook's phone. He's trying to have a hostile takeover.
You know who Eddie Q genuinely enjoys?
Who?
Ken Bone.
He does. He thinks he's great. And he's like, that was actually a great question. And I like the sweater.
Who's Eddie Q?
Eddie Q's from Apple.
That's Eddie Q.
Yeah, he's got his shirt unbuttoned.
Did you talk to him?
No.
Would you?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Go back to that other photo. Look at it. Look at his bottom button. Look at his belly sticking out.
What's he do for Apple?
He goes around. He convinces all the interns that he's important. He tries to put himself in as many commercials as he can. He eats sloppy salads, and his belly sticks out of his shirt.
Somebody on Friday tweeted me that, I forget who it is, but Eddie Q is the kind of guy who reheats fish in the satellite cafeteria.
Oh, he definitely does.
Yes.
He definitely does. And he pays $2,000 for a haircut that looks like he got it at the mall.
He doesn't pay $2,000 for a haircut.
I bet he does. All of these Eddie Q facts are fabricated.
I'm so literal.
You are. It's like, no, we've created a world, a narrative that our Eddie Q character lives in, but I'm quite sure it matches entirely. They did this commercial for Apple Music, and they were like, we need a boardroom scene going on at Apple, and they picked Jimmy Iovine, and there's
Why, is he sick?
Iovine? You could have just done it yourself. You didn't even speak over it.
I'm messing my nose up.
Jimmy Iovine.
Why has he got an IV? Is he sick?
Sound effect again? Yeah, no, I see. The black girl who works at Apple that they're making go to every single keynote because they want to show diversity. And then they're like, we need one of the big, administrators. No, not cocks. One of the big office people. One of the big managers.
The big kahuna.
Eddie Q put himself in there. Eddie Q is in the commercial. Eddie Q would actually... Chip Chipperson would probably be Eddie Q's favorite comic.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually got some great stuff. I like his deep tracks.
He's right.
Let's go to Andrew in Long Island. Andrew?
A test of the morning to you, gentlemen.
And a test to you, my good man.
First of all, I think Eddie Q is now the... what's his name? Ken Bone of the Apple world?
He is. We're turning Eddie Q into the Ken Bone of the Apple world, whether he likes it or not.
But Sam, I did want to say to you that you saved my life.
Yeah?
On more than one occasion, but I'll give you one specific one. I was listening to you on Friday.
Yeah.
And I was listening to you about all of the problems you were having with the updates and how you couldn't update because you didn't update before, and that wouldn't let you update a new thing. And I just stayed away from all that. I did not touch my phone.
Don't touch
it. I did not go to the Samsung, and I still have my genitals intact because of that. So
you still have your phone and your genitals?
Yes, both
Perfect.
intact.
Perfect. That's all you need, dude. Thank you, Andrew.
That's it. Thank you.
I'll talk to you later. See? Jim, you're smart. You're still working on 9 or whatever?
Yeah.
On your phone?
I'm not updating. They do this every time. If it eats your text messages, it's a dog shit update.
It is. It is.
And,
you know
my
what they
phone
do?
can't back up right now. That's the problem. If I could back it up, I would do it, but I can't back it up.
And
I have to clear my hard drive.
Here's what they do. They're like, oh, but look how fun texts are now. Your words can blow up when you send them. And you can look for photos right in the text message. And they have all these little fun updates that don't actually do anything. So you get excited about it. And you're
I'm
like,
not excited.
I have to update so my text can be fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right.
I texted my wife yesterday. It was her birthday. I just wrote happy birthday, and balloons popped out. I didn't even ask for it.
Can I tell you something?
Ew, fuck that.
Can I tell you something, Travis?
Yeah.
That is not unique to you. Today is my wife's birthday. I texted her happy birthday this morning.
Yeah.
Balloons all over my text
And
message
wasn't it
screen.
cool?
You know what would make both your wives happy? If divorce papers had come out of those fucking things.
But you know what?
Share common interests.
How dare they fucking put balloons there?
Balloons. Every
Fuck
time
that.
you send happy birthday.
Go fuck yourself.
But you'll never see them.
No, because I don't send happy birthday texts.
And nobody sends them to you.
Yes, they do.
I don't think so.
July the 19th.
Just putting it there. Yeah, no. No, don't do it. It's a trap, and it's a trick. I went to Beyonce. I was taking photos.
You don't know Beyonce.
A Beyonce concert. I was taking photos. Half the photos, this would have driven you crazy, Jim. Half the photos came back gray screen. No photo was taken. It's not good.
Yeah, look, it's just silly.
It's not good. So Samsung, as of today, has stopped production of the Galaxy Note 7 altogether. A day after it halted global sales, they recalled them first.
Yeah, did they answer the phone when they recalled them?
It's such a long sound effect. And it feels longer every time somehow.
It does, doesn't it?
It's so annoying. They stopped selling the device after finding out that even the supposedly safer replacements. So I don't know how do you get a device that catches shit on fire? And then you're like, okay, we'll take out the part that sets things on fire and replace everybody's flammable one with one that's non-flammable.
Well, you know what that is?
What?
The problem is the glass, to make it easier to swipe on, they coat it with gasoline.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Just to make it slick?
Yeah.
And then people are going, let me light a cigarette, and their house blows up.
Yeah. See, people have been they got like a little liquid package, and it's gasoline that you're supposed to dump on your screen every day that you can just rub in and then swipe away.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then you plug it in, and all of a sudden there's a problemo.
I see. Ryan in Long Island.
Hey guys, so Google's got a new phone coming out called the Pixel.
I saw that. Have you seen the Pixel, Jim?
No, but it sounds adorable.
I got to tell you, the Pixel looks like just a shitty version of the iPhone.
Well, all right, so here's the thing about the Pixel. They've actually been releasing, Google makes their own phone every year, but it's under a brand that's not targeted for consumers. So every like Samsung phone or whatever LG Android phone has a skin that those companies make and they put over it, and that's what makes them shitty. But Google, when you have just the Android system, is actually extremely usable and smooth, just as good as the iPhone. I've been using it for years. I've never lost contact and never had any problems.
But did this contact sync to your computer?
It syncs with your Gmail, so whatever phone you buy in the future, whether you go back to BlackBerry.
Stop with the Gmail syncing.
You don't like Gmail syncing either?
No, I don't.
You don't like syncing. You're not a sync guy.
I am. I mean, but again, I don't want the whole Gmail thing. It's so confusing.
What's confusing about it, Grandpa?
Did this Google... No, I'm not being Grandpa. Yeah, this type of Google thing, it's tied in with YouTube.
Yeah.
It was a fucking nightmare.
Well, they own each other.
Right.
Well, I like that dominant, submissive relationship.
Right. YouTube kisses and sucks on Google's feet.
I would have such a hard time going to Android because, you don't get to update every year. They tell you...
These phones are made... They used to be called... They're called Pixel now. They used to be called Nexus. They're the first to release to get the update. You literally get it the next day after they announce it.
Yeah, but if you bought a phone last year, you don't get that update.
That's right.
Yeah, you do. No, the Nexus phones, you get them for at least 2 years, just the same as the iPhone. maybe even like 3 or 4, and it's always really usable and like friendly for updating.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatevs.
I don't know. I'm still skeptical. But also, here's what Google is great at. They haven't been great
finding stuff.
That's really insightful, Jim. I'm glad you piped up. They haven't been great with creating hardware at all.
No, but you want to find something.
I got the thing. The search is fine.
Google Sam Roberts.
But they're really good. They're really good at tricking you into just collecting information.
Yeah.
Like they're really... Okay, goodbye, Ryan. Jim is leading you astray. Jim is completely leading you astray. They're really good at getting you to put in your information into shit.
Not me, they're not.
Because you don't sync anything.
I fly under the radar.
With your iPhone, you're flying way under the radar.
Right. No iCloud, they don't know me, they don't know who I am.
So, but your email address, what do you use? What's your email client that you use?
TheRealJimNorton@gmail.com.
Okay, so it's Gmail. Yeah, so that you're not
no
under the radar.
syncing, though.
You know, Google is just, they have access to all your email.
Good.
Right. Okay, good conversation. Let's go to Tom in New York. What's up, Tom?
Hey, Sam. I used to work for Apple for about 4 years. I started as a genius in one of the stores, and I'll tell you, like Jim mentioned about the Mobile Me, that was the biggest nightmare in the world. I had customers throwing phones at me in the store because they could lose their contacts.
Mm-hmm.
Apple customers are like the most psychotic in the world. Now,
wait, here, let me tell you why Apple customers are so psychotic.
Give it to him, Sammy.
Thank you, Jim.
Give it to him. Why are we so crazy?
Okay.
I'm an Apple customer, and I'm nutty.
This is taking some steam out of my argument.
No, come on. Show them how crazy we are. We want the iPad, the iPhone, everything with eyes in front of it. Go ahead, Sammy.
Making me feel silly about making my point, though.
Go ahead.
You took steam out of it. Because Apple and Eddie Q tell us all that this is like and Johnny Ive tell us all what a magical, beautiful device is, that we can't live without it, and it works, and it's seamless, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So when it doesn't work, you're like, you sold me
a bill of goods.
Thank you, Jim. You understand, because you're one of those fucking crazy Apple customers.
I'm an Apple guy.
Yeah.
Hey, give me that little teeny iPod. Give me the Mini. Give me the iPad. Give me the Mac 7.
Hey, what are you going to tell time with?
My phone.
Apple Watch?
No, I don't use the Apple Watch.
Okay, you're an
Shit's
Apple
all red and round and shit.
You have the improv ability of Derek.
Fuck yeah. That kid's good.
The one thing I would say, though, is I worked for Apple for a very long time, and I don't use an Apple phone. I switched a few years ago.
How about a banana phone?
I switched to the Nexus, just like the other guy. It's so much better. It works, but you have to give up some of your privacy to Google. That's the biggest thing. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to,
Well, let me ask you this.
It's not going to work for you.
Does it make a difference whether we're giving up our privacy to Apple or to Google?
Yes, it does. I'm a very private person.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You got your phone full of dick pics.
But
They're
Jim,
privates. I said I'm a very private person.
Jim, you really don't think somebody can see what's on your phone?
No.
Look at all that stuff that Snowden came out with. Everything is accessible.
No, it's not accessible. My phone's a big old secret.
You think so?
Yep.
Yeah, you got a password on it.
I do have a password.
Unless you have it in a lead box, anybody can get into your thing. They try to sell this thing that it's secure and then it's magical. Nobody's ever going to get your stuff. That's a bunch of bullshit.
You're right. That's why when there was San Bernardino shooters, they had to FBI had to ask for help because they couldn't get in. You're right. Real easy.
No, they did get in. That's the thing, is they got in without Apple's help.
Well, an Israeli hacker took quite a while, I believe, is how they did it.
Yeah, because they didn't want to take the more intrusive method to get it because they were paranoid of losing the stuff.
Well, all right, Tom. I appreciate it. Maybe
you're right.
I'll listen to you. Because I am very, very dissatisfied with this iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these Apple geeks like Travis, who's Tefton in there going, there ain't a Tefton thing wrong with this.
Yeah, Travis is an Apple cum gargler.
He is. He is.
I'm fine with Eddie Q having all my information.
He's just been.
He can look for my photos if he
fine
wants.
without Q having all your information.
He's been cuck-tefted by Apple too many times.
That's right, cuck boy.
Just have a phone that works.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems.
Do you have the new iPhone?
I have the 6S.
That's not the new
My wife
iPhone.
has the 7. She keeps complaining about the battery.
Oh, really?
Your wife has it?
She got the 7 Plus, yeah. She loves it, but
She
the battery-
wishes.
That's why she bought it.
Yeah, exactly. Travis is still trying to sell the 4S.
Jack in Baltimore. What's
Ooh,
up, Jack?
lucky you. Oh.
Yo, yo.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
What's up? So, yeah, I mean, I work in telecom, and, yeah.
If you work in telecom, look, dude, I have to tell you something. You just said I work in telecom, and then your phone shit the bed.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not on our network, but no, I'm on fucking GPS trying to drive now. But, yeah, no, Apple's just pretty much designed for dickheads and women. It just sucks.
Well, I'm not a dickhead or a woman.
You're both.
Oh.
I don't know. Whole marketing scheme.
All right, Jack, I'll talk to you later. It's just all shitting the bed. The phone's clicking and clacking all over the place. Chris in Jersey.
Hey, guys, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
2 quick things. Yes, I downloaded 10, and my iPhone freezes every 15 seconds.
It's 10 is garbage.
It's garbage. I don't care if it's
shit.
If you got the Teft update or not. It is garbage.
Yeah.
I have to turn it on and off at least, I'm not even joking, at least 30 times a day to get it done freeze.
I would never fucking update to 10 until the bugs are fixed.
My
And
question
how do you
for
even
Sam
know?
is,
Well, people will tell me.
with Eddie Q, if the hostile takeover doesn't work, I envision him working at the Genius Bar at Best Buy.
You
like
mean
yes,
You mean the Geek Squad?
the Geek Squad at Best Buy, where he starts to try to take them over.
He would. Wherever Eddie Q goes, even if he's at the bottom of the barrel, he's going to try to take it over from the inside.
Yes, he is.
That's his method. He's going to try. He's going to be like, no, you don't need to come into work today. No, everything's fine. Hey, boss, he didn't come into work today. Like, just for no reason.
I picture him taking people's computers to be fixed, and he just siphons through them, taking all their information and trying to use it for his takeover.
Something you don't realize is information is power. Eddie, nobody cares about what's on these people's computers.
Well, he's right, though. It is.
You think so, Jim?
Yes.
I'm glad you took that literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Chris. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, Eddie Q, wherever he goes, he's just a troublemaker. He's a troublemaker.
He's like a boss.
Did you watch the...
No.
Speaking of, we had Nancy Grace in here.
She was good.
She was great, huh? Friend of the show, Nancy Grace, talking about being an attorney. Did you see the CBS Jean-Benet Ramsey special?
No, but I hear there's a $150 million lawsuit. That's for effect.
What does that mean?
Fucking crash it into the legal system.
That's so stupid.
All right.
Was that totally out of place? You just wanted to hit your buttons.
Yes, I did.
You should see it. They did like a 2-part...
Who's he suing, the brother? An investigator, right?
One of the investigators from the show. They really...
Did they fuck him over?
Well, not if he killed the fucking little girl, but they really made it seem... If you're watching the show, they present all the evidence. They go through like tape. It's a bizarre show. It's very dark because they go through like the phone call and they listen to the 911 call, and you can hear the Ramsey family talking to each other right before the phone hangs up, and so it was obvious that they were lying about everybody being in bed and all this stuff. I think the oddest part of the show for me was they reenacted things to get effect. And they were looking at the mark in John Benet's skull, because she got blunt force trauma or whatever.
Yeah.
That was one of
allegedly.
That was one of the suspicious things, was that she had this rope around her neck, but it was very obvious that what had killed her was getting struck in the head by something because her skull had been fractured. So, and it was brutal, and they showed like all these photos and everything. It was really...
They show her fucked up like that?
Yeah, I mean, they don't show her like face and everything, but they show her body. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But they go like, okay, they put a fake skull on like a mannequin stand, and then they cover it in pig flesh, and then they put it like a blonde. Like,
did it walk out of an interview?
And they put a blonde wig on it. But they put a blonde wig on it, and they're like, we want to see, because their theory is that she got hit by a flashlight. So they go, we want to see what kind of force it would take. And they get a little kid because they're indirectly trying to prove it was the brother.
Sure.
They get a little kid to hit this fake Jean Benet skull with a flashlight and fracture the skull.
I would love to have auditioned for that.
You would have? Yeah. You would have taken that role on?
Yeah.
As the skull?
Yeah. No. As the hitter.
Because I would have suggested you as the skull.
No.
And so it's really weird watching like this little kid fracture a fake Jean Benet Ramsey skull. Yeah. You know? But at the end of the day, they're like ruling out everything. They're saying it obviously was not a home invasion. It wasn't.
Really?
Like, there are little things. Like, the window where the guy reportedly came in and out of or whatever in the basement that was broken for weeks. And there were cobwebs in the window that would have been knocked out if anybody had gone through it. It was like this small window.
Maybe a spider did it.
That's a terrible... What a terrible thought. Chip the investigator.
Yeah.
It was like, because they got from all around the world. They got somebody from England. They got this Asian guy. They got all of the best investigators. And there were like 10 of them. If Chip had been involved with those 10, boy, would that have mucked up the works.
Yep. Fucking spider web. Along came a spider. Sat down beside her.
So they're saying, obviously, an intruder did not come in through the window because the intruder would have knocked out the cobwebs.
Sure.
So that couldn't have happened. They looked at the ransom note. The ransom note's like the fakest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, the fact that they named his bonus, wasn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, they put the amount of his bonus. It was 3 pages long. And they described themselves as like we're a foreign group or something like that, like a thing that you would never say.
Something that someone faking a ransom note might say?
Yes.
Peckles.
Yes. And it was like, and one of the exercises they did on the show.
Oh, that's good. They kept in shape.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
I'm all hyped up on coffee.
I know, you're all excited. Was they transcribed the note to see how long it would take. Mm-hmm. It took them like 25 minutes to write down the 3 pages.
Cool.
Meaning, it's not cool.
That's good. That's a quick note.
Meaning that they were thinking that somebody came in, killed Jean Benet, and then spent 25 minutes in the kitchen writing this note.
Problem solved. That's what I thought.
Okay, well, here's where it doesn't make sense. Generally,
that don't make no sense.
Thank you, Chip.
Welcome.
Generally, intruders want to leave right away.
I don't know.
Yes, they do.
My mother's room got broken into one time. I was like, Ma, what's going on in there? She said, Chipper, there's an intruder and his 2 friends, and they're helping me fix the bed springs. I'm like, who's in there, Ma? Who's in there? I hear Colt 45 cans dropping. She's like, Chipper, there's an intruder in here with his 2 friends, but they're helping me fix the box spring.
Why did she have to tell you with his 2 friends? Why couldn't she just say there's an intruder?
Because there was a lot of bouncing around on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what was going on.
Yeah, they were fixing the box springs. There was intruders, and then my mother won their hearts because she was a saint.
There's nothing wrong with the box spring. Maybe overuse.
No, my mother's a Rubenesque woman. She would sit on the bed. And
well, that's why it takes 3 men to satisfy her, I would assume.
They were fixing the box spring. Okay. I would hit a Colt 45 cans getting dropped.
No, maybe you're right. I don't know how you knew the brand unless you were peeking in. But
I had to clean them up after.
Oh. What was on them?
Bunch of Colt 45 cans.
Yeah?
And bunch of cool cigarette butts on the floor.
How did you know what brand of cigarette butt they were?
Because I was smoking them.
You'd smoke after him?
Yeah, my mother fell asleep, and I would see her big feet hanging off the edge, and I would sit there and smoke on the floor.
So you'd be under the bed?
No, I wouldn't.
Then how'd you see the feet?
Because I went in there to clean up after.
And she was sleeping with her foot dangling off?
Yeah, because she snored real loud.
Oh, I see. So she had to fall. She fell asleep after they fixed the box spring?
Yeah, and they left through the window.
And was there cobwebs?
There was stuff that looked like cobwebs. So what do they say? Her brother's suing for a lot of money.
Because they made it clear, and they looked like Jean Benet had this mark on her. And originally they said it was done by a taser. It was these 2 dots. But they went through all this, the whole 2-hour show, and they basically said what happened was there was this history. Don't look at the camera and mug. We're not going to,
Why?
It's stupid.
This is good stuff for the radio
We
show.
just taped the whole show, so it's like the fact that won't even go out there. Now we have to put the tape out because you're fucking mugging for the camera like an idiot.
I'm not being natural. Shut up.
It's just so
what happened
stupid.
with Jean Benet?
It's a disruption.
What happened with the case?
It ignores all the people listening at home to mug for the camera when we're trying to talk about what happened with Jean Benet.
Right.
You see?
Interesting.
Stop trying. You're auditioning for stuff.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're.
So what happened that fateful night?
That's such a stupid thing to say.
No, it's not.
That fateful night.
What happened?
Here's what happened. There was already a history.
Or a herstory.
Nobody says herstory.
Well, you're being very gender biased.
No, I'm not. The word is history. There was already a history.
Yes, there was.
How do you know what I'm going to say?
Well, there's always been history, Sam.
So stupid. The brother had hit her with a golf club before. That was documented.
Did he?
Yep. And so they're saying, here's what happened.
Oh.
He went down because they found...
Had he really hit her with a golf club?
Yes.
Oh, maybe that was it.
No, he didn't. That was before.
Boom.
That was
playing golf. There was an accident.
No, that was way before.
Oh.
So, they found a bowl of like peaches or something and yogurt.
I love peaches.
So
Hands
what?
up if you've had a peach recently. I have.
Put your hand down, Adrian. Go back to your position.
Which he means hands and knees. You like peaches, Travis?
Yeah.
You'll teft with a peach every now and then.
Yeah, I'll teft up a peach.
You know what tefting with a peach is?
What?
It's when you take the pit out and you rub that little half hollowed out pit part over your cockhead up really hard. That's called tefting with a peach.
How hard?
Until there's chafing on your penis.
From the peach?
Yeah.
That's really hard.
Yep. And you have to take the peach pit. And you know how it's pointy on both sides of the peach pit? You open your ass cheeks. And you insert it there just so the little points are hurting your cheeks.
This is all part of tefting with a peach?
Tefting with a peach,
And you just said you did that, Travis. That's fucking gross, dude.
I didn't know you guys were going to know what it was.
That's so gross.
Thought I could get away.
No.
So he hit the key. He hit her with a golf club. What, recently?
No.
Oh.
She's been
I'm not
dead.
dead. Oh, sorry.
He hit her with a golf club way before that. So there's
Why?
this history of he seems like a kind of a damaged kid at that time. But he went downstairs. He got himself some peaches and yogurt or something like that in the middle of the night. The theory is Jean-Benet took a peach out of the bowl. He picked up the flashlight that was on the table, smacked her in the head because he's a violent, weird kid. She dies from the hit. His parents now have to cover it up. There was also marks on her body that they thought was a taser because it was like 2 dots.
Right. That would be
an
indicator of a possible tasing.
But here's why the tasing doesn't make sense. Because they said the taser was used to subdue Jean-Benet. Tasers don't subdue people. They get people excited and wired. It electrocutes people.
Yeah, the taser theory.
Why are you talking so slow?
Because I'm analyzing the peach pit, the taser.
Nobody's talking about peach pits. That was you tefting.
Well, they found a peach in her hand, correct?
No. Incorrect. So,
what kind of a dorky kid gets peaches and yogurt as a midnight snack?
He's a fucking nerd and a weirdo.
I love a good peach and yogurt midnight snack.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like to go back to bed and go, because it clogs my throat.
So they're saying, but what the 2 marks matched were these model tracks to a train track that her dad had all set up. And Jean-Benet's brother had train tracks in his room, so he fucking jabbed her with the train tracks. That's what he did.
At midnight?
He might have done it before. He's just a violent little weird kid. They showed a video of him talking about the crime when he's a little kid. And they're like, how are you dealing with it? And he goes, oh, I pretty much don't think about it because I play video games. Like he's not at all bothered by the fact that his little sister was mysteriously murdered via blunt force trauma.
So they think that he poked the kid with a and then hit her
jabbed her with the train tracks, and they think that she came down, grabbed the peaches, and then he turned around. And he's like, "Those are my peaches!" Smashed her with his
flashlight. How'd the peaches get involved again?
He went down for a midnight snack to get peaches and yogurt
at midnight.
More or less. It's a midnight snack. It's a colloquial term.
All right, so at least they're saying it's basically justifiable homicide.
No. Oh. You can't kill someone for eating one of your peaches.
Please, in some parts of the world.
I don't think in any parts of the world.
Where's are those little jab marks?
Those are the marks from the train track.
Yeah, I said that years ago. Those are train track marks.
No, nobody has said that.
I said that years ago.
No, you didn't.
Train track marks. Or I said that he took the peach pit out and he threw the pit at her twice and it put that little jab mark in there.
There's not peach pit. pits have it was slices of peach with yogurt. They were not. It was 10. There was no
delicious.
pits.
So why was she up at that hour?
She heard him downstairs. She came downstairs. She was sleeping. She heard him downstairs. She came downstairs. She was kind of fucking around with him. Grabbed a peach. He was a violent little weirdo.
This is just but no one said she grabbed the peach until the investigators just guessing at what happened?
They're saying what would be the possible motivation. There's a bowl of peaches here.
Maybe it was a Trump argument.
It was 15, 20 years ago.
Right. They were smart kids. I'm guessing. I'm just throwing theories out there. There's no dumb answers.
You're not giving answers. You're asking questions.
Right. That is the question. I'm just asking questions here.
What's the question? You just said dumb answers.
No, look at those train track marks in her arm.
So?
Well, taser. Who thought that was a taser?
A lot of people thought it was a taser. Yes, they did.
They thought that was where the two edges of the train would go into the next part, right?
They just said that, yes.
No, I said that 15 years ago.
No, you didn't.
I did.
And they were pissed off, too.
Yep.
They were pissed off,
Very
too,
pissed off.
that the dad fucked with the body. You know, because the dad found them. No, not like that.
I talked to him.
No.
I said, look.
This is a real person that died. It's a real child that died.
Yeah, it's a good point. I should bail out of this one.
Yeah, no. He found the body. He knew exactly where to look. He picked it up. He completely contaminated the scene. Then, after this special aired, in an effort to clear his name, as an adult man now, JonBenét's brother went on Dr. Phil.
Oh, man, that's nice.
I haven't made my point.
I stopped myself.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you were saying anything.
Because he went on Dr. Phil. I almost did a really dumb joke.
You thought he went to the bathroom on Dr. Phil? Like, are you 6 years old?
Yes, I am.
He went on Dr. Phil, and you're thinking, did he go pee-pee or poopy?
That's why I stopped it. Hey, You're the one that said it. Nice try.
So, he goes on Dr. Phil.
Yep.
And Dr. Phil is asking him about, what happened and everything. And he has this smile plastered across his face the whole time. He's almost like laughing through talking about the murder and everything. He's so poorly developed.
Can we see? Is he fucked up?
And weird. Yeah.
He's weird?
When he starts talking about the murder, and he's like kind of just grinning through the whole thing. It was the worst move that they could have made. He tried to go on to clear his name. And he didn't clear his name at all because everybody on the internet was like, this guy obviously killed this little girl. He's smiling. Why is he smiling so much?
Well, smiling's okay.
You think so?
I love to smile.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Give me a smile for a chocodile.
I bet you do. Let's go to, Gene in Denver. What's up, Gene?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that it wasn't peaches. It was pineapple.
Oh, it was pineapple.
Yeah.
So there were no peach pits at all?
There was no peaches in the whole story except you guys' story.
Well, it's pineapple instead of peaches then. It doesn't make a difference. It's not about peaches.
Him smiling does not mean that he killed her, but he looks like he's fucked up. That's
kind of creeped out.
My dad just said she's in heaven now, and I was kind of like, how is that possible?
Can he please stop smiling? Went on tweet.
That's a nervous thing. That's a nervous thing.
Yeah, you know why he's nervous? Because he fucking could have possibly, allegedly, had something to do with the murder of his little sister.
Maybe, but he was so young and he was probably jealous of her if he did it. But he's I think he's just nervous on camera.
You forgive him if he did it?
No, I mean, but he's obviously.
You said he's so young and jealous.
Meaning
he kind of brushed it off.
He's probably a fucked up. He doesn't look emotionally healthy. Just from his face, I can guess.
Right.
How old is he now?
He's got to be close to 30.
How old was he when it happened?
It was 20 years ago. He was around 10, so he's probably about 30.
He'd be out of jail soon.
Why? What do you mean?
29.
So he's 29. So you think as long as it's been long enough that he would be out of jail, we can forgive it?
Yeah, he's suing the pathologist. How can you sue a pathologist for giving his opinion?
They really the special was definitely skewed.
Okay.
To show that he was a suspect, and here's why. It should have been, hey, we all think JonBenét's brother killed her, here's why. He was the only suspect that they were looking at. Now, the evidence was compelling. The pineapples, the golf clubs, the train tracks, all very compelling, but it was obviously...
Are both the parents dead or no?
No, the dad's alive. The mom died of cancer.
So why won't the dad just say, hey, yeah, he did it?
The dad said he didn't do it.
Oh.
The dad is actually defending his son, probably because if his dad says, yeah, he did it, then it's like, okay, well, you're going to jail as well.
He's socially awkward. Wow.
Yeah. But the dad would go to jail for covering up the murder.
Would he, though? I mean...
Definitely.
No, I don't know about that. He might... But when you're a father protecting your 10-year-old son,
it's not a defense.
He didn't kill him. No, but I don't know if he'd go to jail.
You're a daughter. If you're a dad protecting your 10-year-old son from murdering your 8-year-old daughter,
I don't know.
You'd go to jail.
You might.
You'd go to jail. That's like being like, who is the lady that you love bringing up who drowned her kids?
Who I wish drowned her? Well, she ran off with a Jewish guy.
Oh, you can say Travis's mom. That's fine.
No.
Who is the lady that drowned
your
her
mom?
kids?
I wish would have aborted. Andrea Yates.
Okay. You're not going to sit there and be like, well, she was having trouble with her kids and they were her kids.
Yeah, but she was the adult. He's 10. And the daughter was younger.
You still can't cover up murders.
No, I know. I know that, like, legally it wouldn't be, but I'm just saying it's more understandable. It's more understandable when you see your whole, like, okay, we're going to get through this because your daughter's dead and you're on the verge of losing both your children.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not saying it's right, but as a parent, I can't imagine you're happy to, okay, let me,
No, I don't. You just trailed off. Yeah. Let me go to Kevin in Houston. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, top of the teft to you.
Oh, and a top of the teft to you?
I was calling to say that I 100% believe that allegedly he did it.
Well, you're allowed to believe it.
I allegedly 100% believe that he did it.
Yeah,
you're allowed to believe it.
I mean, who doesn't stay in bed when their 8-year-old sister is missing and there's police activity all through the house? Yeah, I mean, of course you stay in bed.
That's what they said. The police were in the house. The girl was missing, and he was like, I slept in.
He was a good sleeper.
Yeah.
He looks
I do want to tell you this, Jimmy, and I am 100%, I am not bullshitting y'all at all. But on Saturday night, myself, my wife, and our friends went out to a little Oktoberfest celebration, and we were heading home and decided to stop off and have another cocktail before the end of the night. And we walked into a restaurant in the suburb that I live in, and there was a four-top at the bar. We sat down, and
I love that band.
Yes. There was a gentleman and his 9-year-old son sitting there, and we ordered our drinks and, end up chit-chatting with the guy for about 30 minutes, whatnot. And all the while, we kept looking at this guy going, I know this guy from somewhere. One of those, you couldn't figure it out. Well, the guy pays out his bill. Him and his son get up, walk out, leave. And my friend says, hey, grab his credit card slip and look at his name. So my buddy grabs the credit card slip, and it was Rusty Yates.
Ah, Andrea Yates' husband.
Oh, Rusty Yates.
Yep. Yep, Rusty Yates.
Oh, Rusty.
Yep.
No, Rusty Yates.
All 5 Rusty Yateses.
They're all rusty because they've been in the water for so long. Babies don't get rusty. It's very unkind.
Yeah, but they gave her a hard time, though.
The babies, you mean?
No, the mother, because she's trying to teach them to swim, and there's been a mishap.
Oh, so here's what happened.
I feel bad for this guy.
Who, Rusty Yates?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course. The guy who's getting sued, the pathologist by Burke Ramsey.
Yeah.
He's getting sued because of statements he made. I'm assuming it was around the promotion of this special.
Okay.
Because he made statements to a local CBS Detroit station and he said, if you really, really use your free time to think about this case, you cannot come to a different conclusion. It's the boy, Burke Ramsey, who did it. Whether he was jealous or mentally unfit or something, I don't know why. I'm not a psychiatrist, but what I am sure about is what I know about him. That is what happened here. And the parents changed the scene to make it look like something it wasn't. So he went on TV and said it was definitely him.
Okay.
Which at that point, it's like you can't just say that.
No, you can't. You can only say, like, whenever I'm asked to testify or to talk, I'll say my professional opinion or, look, it appears to be, but you can't.
We're not talking about like fantasy stuff. You've never been asked to testify, and you've certainly never been asked to give a professional opinion on anything. Not even in your social life.
I'm very intuitive.
You might have testified, but that's a totally different deal.
Testifying, that's when you go on the witness stand and you just suck a bunch of dicks.
You ever did that, Travis?
No.
Not yet, huh?
No, I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, Your Honor, 6 of the jurors would like to have a testify. Just walk up and he pops all their dicks in his face at the same time.
Everybody's just focusing on what's going on the stand, except for one of the lawyers who says, he goes, Your Honor, objection. The jury is testifying again. You just see the jury having a dick suck party.
No, they're all getting their dick sucked by him.
Seems like nothing would be getting accomplished.
Yeah,
Nothing.
you'd be surprised, except the happy jury. They don't mind being sequestered.
Oh, I see. So it's a lawyer tactic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Making the jury happy.
Yeah.
Patrick in Tennessee.
God, Burke Ramsey, man, you talk about somebody growing into their name. That's such a name of a child murderer.
That's actually a good point, Burke. Burke Ramsey.
The only Burke I know.
That whole,
Burke
the whole family is just an onion of creepiness. The more you get onto it, like, consider, like, if the father actually had covered it up, like, his first thought was, oh, quick, break a paintbrush off in her pussy. That'll cover it up.
Yeah.
Like, well, who initially goes there?
What do you mean a paintbrush?
He tried to make it seem like there was a sexual assault that went on with her. And by the way, I'm not saying he, the dad. I'm saying whoever did this made it appear as though there was a sexual assault that it. Right. All right, Patrick, that's on you. Made it seem like there was a sexual assault that had happened, and based on this TV show, they said that the evidence said that there probably was no sexual assault whatsoever.
They put something in her vagina?
That's what they said.
Well, maybe it wasn't the adult. Maybe if the kid did it, maybe it was him.
I don't know. There's a big difference from slamming somebody with a fucking flashlight and then being like, I'm going to fuck her with his paintbrush. Like, that's a leap.
Wow.
That's a leap. Let me go to Terry in South Carolina. What's going on, Terry?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, look, this is what I heard. This is allegedly what I heard. That the little kid, like, knocked her in the head, and she fell out, and he kind of, like, freaked out, so he grabbed his little toy train track and was, like, poking her to make her get up, like, hey.
He was like, yeah, I get it. He was jabbing her with the train track to try to make her get up, and then he started panicking and hit her hard, and that's where the 2 dots came from.
He said that?
I think that was one of the things, one of the theories, one of the prevailing theories in the case. I wonder if he's thank you, buddy. I wonder if he's going to get his $150 million. Because there's obviously, the problem is that the Boulder Police Department fucked up the whole case.
Yeah.
Like all the evidence, nobody will ever be tried for this crime. It's not going to happen. So you have to wonder if he'll get his $150 million. If he'll get something. It'd be fucking crazy to become a millionaire and get away with killing your little sister.
If he did it.
If he did it. Of course, if he did it. Nuts. Somebody needs advice, Jim. Are you willing to give some advice?
Yes, I am.
Could be a professional opinion. Do you have one of those?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Scott in Chicago.
Hey, guys. I'm kind of lost about Jimmy doing his advice show. I think I may have tested last night.
Oh, boy.
I sucked the cum out of my boyfriend's ass. Did I teft, Jimmy?
Is it technically tefting is the question. I know it's a teftism for sure, but I don't know if that's technically tefting.
Oh, man, I need help. All right, guys.
You won't tell him, Jim?
No, I'm curious myself.
Oh, so you don't know?
No.
Wow. Travis, you'll be the final judge. Is that technically tefting?
I guess.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Everybody, make sure that you're following us. What's wrong?
I'm just so annoyed. My web guy put up the wrong Helium Comedy Club. Jesus fucking Christ.
You want something done right. Who's got to do it, Jim?
Him. That's what I'm paying for.
What'd he put up? He just put up the wrong dates?
Buffalo. I'm not in Buffalo. I'm in Philly. October 27th.
So if you want to see Jim in Philly, go buy tickets to Buffalo.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Buffalo.
I'm in Philly the 27th through the 30th.
But don't a lot of people end up commuting back and forth from Philly to Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, normally people will fly in day of for my shows.
Right.
I'm going to Reno Saturday, so I'm really looking forward to this.
That's going to be good. So Reno is on Saturday.
Have a lot of laughs.
And it's Buffalo the last weekend in October, correct?
Buffalo.
It's that's when you're in Buffalo?
Yep.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Will everybody go see Jim?
Yeah. Listen, we had fun today.
Yes. Today was a great show.
I think so.
We're going to have our YouTube channel has a ton of shit on it right now.
Oh, cool.
So
Getting more than 50 views, I hope.
Well, it's building.
Jesus.
It's building.
By the way, next time we do an interview, turn those TVs off because then they show up in the interview. It looks sloppy.
You think it looks sloppy?
Well, yeah, somebody put a very funny, I saw a picture on Twitter where they put it was from a picture of the TV, they put Sam Roberts in the fucking TV.
I like that.
Yeah, I did too.
But we will have, this afternoon, video of the Nancy Grace interview from the show.
Yeah.
And look, we tried to confront her on some things.
For a prosecutor, what a fucking... She has zero tolerance for being questioned. She's just used to being in the grilling seat. That's
Right.
a problem.
Right. She buckled under the pressure of Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Maybe we should start an attorney
As
practice.
a prosecutor, as somebody who grills people, how do you not understand that's how do you expect your one answer just to solve the case?
You would think that a prosecutor
bunch of bullshit
would sit there, look at their own actions, and have arguments just as a practice, just as a way of life.
Yeah.
Would be able to argue everything they've ever done, especially in a public setting. On TV, you would think that they'd be able to argue that.
Yeah.
Nancy Grace wasn't.
No.
Just another victim of Jim Norton and Sam Roberts at law.
That's right, as opposed to everybody else with ears. We've been ruining your lives, now we're ruining the lives of others.
If you want to continue to have your ears ruined, the show replays immediately right now, and then again at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be back here live tomorrow.
Yes, and Riz MC is Riz Ahmed. We didn't know the whole group was coming in, so we didn't promote all of them properly, but they're doing a meeting tonight at between 6 and 8 East 7th Street called the Turntable Lab.
Yes.
If you want to go down and meet those guys, they were interesting guys.
They were. And they request that anybody that goes to meet them at Turntable Lab start them in a debate about Donald Trump. Yeah. They said all of you that come down, they'd be willing to argue anyone.
Yeah. But call him the Trumpmeister.
They like that.
Yeah, that's what I call him.
No, you don't.
Even Trumpified.
Goodbye, everybody.
This has been Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.